All right. We is life. We is life. Very, very nice. All right. So, let's check to see that we have good audio. I can hear it with my own two ears. I think we have everything ready to go. Let me just cover my webcam so I don't show up by mistake. Anyway, so we were discussing the black hole, debunking the black hole singularity last time, and we were talking about other things. So anybody who wants to join is welcome. It's open panel like always, and let me see if I can get the diagram going. There is the diagram, and let me share my screen. Share screen. Brave debunking the black hole singularity. No, that's not it. I want the untitled paint. Very good. All right. So, one of the things I was thinking about the black hole. So people say we don't know what goes on inside a black hole. So I was thinking about it. A black hole, actually, nothing goes on inside a black hole because as space time is curved. Carrie Santag, did you see my speed date with Malik? No, man, I did not see your speed date with Malik. Why, are you proud of it? You think you did well? You want to come on the show and talk to me? It is like a vagina. LOL. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, Malik is not a nice. Oh, you want to join? Oh, okay, join. She picked me. Wow, she picked you. That is remarkable. Yeah, you are very talkative. You are a very interesting person to converse with. Yeah. Anyway, um, so, oh, there you go, Mr. Spicoli. Let me add you. Yes,
Hello.
Mr. Spicoli. Hello.
Oh,
How are
oh,
you?
my battery's low. So if I fade out, I'll charge and come back on. No, you didn't see my speed date, Mr. Slave.
No. Was it good?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I went on there and I brought up you and how she. Oh fuck! My phone went down. Let me charge my phone. I'll be back. I'll be
All
back.
right. No, no problem.
All
No
right. I'll be
problem.
back. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, okay. So when an observer, let me bring up the diaphragm or the diagram. So when an observer looks into a black hole, so let's just have an observer looking into a black hole. So let's copy the observer. There is the observer, and let's say a black hole. I think this star, we can say that it's a black hole. So here, an observer is observing a black hole. So the thing about a black hole is, so as the mass or the energy rises, so whatever brought about the black hole. Wait, let me see. Oh, Q2. Q2, are you there? You're muted if you're trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm doing dishes.
Oh, okay.
I
So
just put the water on my phone too. That's why the camera's on.
okay, okay, no problem. So I'll keep talking and you can chime in whenever you want. So so the thing about, but I'll mute you. I think you can unmute yourself. Hopefully, when you're done with making the dish, doing the dishes, because it makes a little bit of noise. Anyway, so the thing with the black hole is, so we discussed that that the sun curved the light from the star. That's how it all. That was how general relativity was proven, because the star appeared. Oh, I guess it's in the other diagram. We had another diagram. So the star appeared where it should not have appeared. Let's get the other diagram. Let me do file, open. Let's see if the other diagram is next to it. Oh, it's not. How would I find it? I don't know where I put it. This is going to be impossible to find. Maybe there is a Mr. Slave folder. Mr. Slave General Relativity. All right. So, but can we open two of them? That's the eclipse propagation. Save. Yes. Ugh, what a mess. This is so messy. Yes, Q2, you wanna speak?
Oh, not that much. I'm like focused on what you're saying, pretty much for right now. I don't
Okay.
want to discuss the aftermath, or like how you feel, or not necessarily how you feel, but like the reason that the Flame of Fire channel doesn't want you back on, but uh I'm not super rushing it. Like if you want to get to the topic of the actual title for a little bit beforehand or whatever.
No, it's completely up to you. We can always discuss black holes. I mean, I have an incredible revelation since the last show. I'll just lay it out. I just came to the conclusion that a black hole internally is frozen.
Okay.
So as a black hole forms, time inside the black hole comes to a complete stop.
Hmm.
So as it formed, that's how it remains. Now, if someone falls into a black hole and then you jump after, you bump into them. Because even if you wait a million years, if they fall into a black hole and you don't see them, and then you jump after them, you wait a million years after the last person jumped in, and then you jump in, boom, you bump into them. Because all this time they were frozen.
Right.
They couldn't fall in because inside a black hole time stops,
Right.
because um because because space time is stretching so fast that it's like everything, it's like it's traveling anyway. I don't want to get into the proof. We probably could prove it, but this is,
Yeah.
it's called time dilation. The
Oh
time
yeah, yeah,
slows.
yeah. So,
It's just that time slows down under gravity, and the more
yeah.
extreme the gravity, the more time slows down for the outside observer. So whoever, like we on Earth, we experience time normally.
Mhm.
But if someone, an observer, is on the moon where the gravity is less, is weaker, if they have a telescope and they wear a stopwatch and we're wearing a stopwatch and they're looking at our stopwatch through the telescope. So I'm sitting on, let's say I'm sitting on Earth here in my house.
Yeah.
I have a stopwatch, and you're on the moon sitting there with your stopwatch, and you're looking through a telescope at my stopwatch, and we both start at the same time, go. We will see that my stopwatch is moving forward just a little bit slower than yours. You will see, not we. You will see that my stopwatch progresses a little bit slower than yours. And that is time dilation due to due to the curvature of space-time, due to energy and mass and stuff. So the Earth
Yeah.
exerts energy or mass, or it curves space-time and causes time dilation. So when you observe me from the moon, you think my clock, you don't think, you know, all the evidence says that my clock, my time is slower than yours. And when
Right.
I look, if I look with my telescope at you, I see your telescope. What do I see? Is
Right?
your
Look at if you used to
stopwatch
look at you, yeah, then my watch would be going super fast or faster.
right? It should be moving faster. I should be able to see it. I should be able to see it. I don't see why not. Right. So now let's make it more extreme. Let's say you're on the moon and let's increase the mass of the earth and turn it into a black hole. So as we increase the mass of the earth, so you observe my clock moving slower and slower and slower and slower until it stops. And then Earth has become a black hole. So if you could observe, right, there is a problem because time stops. Light cannot move out because time stopped. So the light on the way out is frozen. It's like in Star Wars, the anti Jedi. What's his name? The guy with the mask. So that
Kylo Ren? Which one?
Kylo Ren, exactly. So the fighter guy, the guy with the fighter jet, so he fired a shot, and Kylo Ren stopped it midway. He stopped the shot. The laser beam was frozen.
Hmm.
So that's exactly what happens in a black hole as far as the observer outside the black hole is concerned. So when you're on the moon and you're observing me, the one of the reasons you think I'm a black hole, Earth is a black hole after we add more and more and more mass, is because time stops, so the light cannot move. The light waves cannot progress towards you. They're frozen, just like Kylo Ren froze the light beam. Exactly like that. The light is frozen. That's one of the reasons it's a black hole. I guess that's the
Got it. That
reason.
makes a lot of. I'm sorry. I started to interrupt, but like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The reason it's like black is because the light stopped. So like, there's no light coming in and out, whatever. And yeah,
Right,
I know. It just dawned on me when you said it.
right.
Interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, um, so but what's incredible is so usually when a star collapses, usually black holes are formed when a star reaches the end of its life and
Hmm.
it suddenly stops fusion, it stops burning whatever elements it was before. It usually fuses elements, but at the end of its lifetime, it completely used up all the fuel and it fused all the elements, all the atoms into iron. So the whole star
Hmm.
become it instantaneously becomes iron. All the iron is gone. All I mean, all that's left is iron, and iron cannot be fused. It's at the lowest energy state, what we call. At that point, suddenly there's no more outgoing pressure pushing out, so all the outer layers of the star start collapsing
Hmm.
onto this metal core, onto this iron core. And they slap the core from all directions at once. And then you have a sound wave traveling. This clap is a sound wave. It's an energy wave. It's a wave, and it travels through the core to the center. And when it reaches the center, what you actually have is energy density. And the energy density is the black hole.
Right.
You have an instant, in an instant, a black hole is created because you have so much energy condensed into such a little space. So you have a black hole, and black hole means that basically you suddenly have a vacuum. So at the center of the star, suddenly you have a vacuum. And the
Mhm.
whole core of the star collapses into this vacuum.
Right.
Now, here's the kicker: if you jump into the black hole right after that happened, what happens?
If you jump pull after it, like basically, well, we would. I don't know. I mean, because if you should just basically turn into a paste, pretty much.
I don't know
But
about that. Why would I turn into a paste?
because it's if you go into a black hole and there's like something is pulling you in that it's basically the force will pull you in so hard that like you should just like well technically you should what I'm thinking is that you should just die like even before you get there, but the
Why?
gravitational force
Why would you die?
because the gravitational force is inside it's pulling you towards the black hole, right?
No, so it's not the gravitational force. I mean, the gravitational force, if it's very high or very low, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, you free fall. If you're free falling, then you don't feel any force.
Okay.
So the gravity could be infinite. It's not going to harm you as long as you're free falling. The only way the gravity can hurt you is if gravity is strong, like on a neutron star. Gravity is very strong, but you cannot fall because the neutron star is hard. So
Yeah,
you
so it's just something stopping you from
exactly
falling. Oh, got it. Makes
exactly.
sense.
So in a black hole, nothing is stopping you from falling. So that can't hurt you. So the gravity doesn't hurt you. Gravity cannot hurt you. But
Right.
what they do say is that the gravity gradient is very high, meaning the difference between a mile away from the black hole and half a mile away from the black hole and a quarter of a mile from the black hole, every little distance as you approach the black hole, the gravity increases by so much that the difference between the two spots is so big that your feet are going to get pulled much stronger than your head. So you're going to get torn apart.
Hmm.
And then, not even that, your leg itself is going to get torn into two. And then your foot will get torn into two. And your toenails will get torn into two. And the atoms themselves will get torn into two. Everything. And then they call it spaghettification. Everything gets torn. It's not really spaghettification. There's no spaghetti, but it's yeah. But that's a technical. That's how they call it. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's what they say. But I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I think when you fall into the black hole, what I do know for sure is what you see is the core that collapsed just before. So the core might have collapsed a long time ago. Like if you go to visit a black hole now, the
Mhm.
core collapsed billions of years ago. But if you fall into the black hole, you're going to fall right after the core collapsed into the black hole because it was frozen all this time. Because black holes are absolutely frozen throughout their life. All the black holes in the universe have not aged 1 nanosecond internally. Wait, you playing music?
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to because I'm looking at the StreamYard stuff.
Hmm.
It's pretty low. Yeah, it's like if we're talking, you can barely hear it.
No, it's okay. You can play music. It's good. People told me to play music.
All right, hold up. Should be good. Yeah, we're good. Or
Anyway, so yeah, okay, we can come back. We can talk more about the black hole and the singularity.
all right.
I thought a lot about it. It was a good stream last time. Anyway, what do you want to talk about? You wanted to talk about something.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of give you try to give you a different perspective on the quote unquote, well, I won't say betrayal, but the falling out at the very least with the Playing with Fire channel and everybody there. I think I could, yeah, I want to give you a different perspective, try to steel man, tell you where they're coming from, and then try to
Fine.
see different, and then try to give you a better angle of, I guess, re-entry if they ever want to contact you or whatever again, because I feel I don't feel it should have been a super falling out, but this is my opinion or whatever.
All right.
Cool. So I'll say let's start with I gotta change up the music. Oh, let me see. Let's do oh no, I'm having fun. This is so stupid.
It's okay. It's good.
Yeah, I got you. So I would say that perfect. Yeah, that's another thing. We could have like either girls or just video in the background for like visual noise or whatever. I think that's good too. What I would say is, I feel the first thing, uh, defending Hormaxer. I think you were within your. I completely stand with you with the idea of defending Hormaxer and saying that going after him would be a witch hunt, and they're going after him for the wrong reasons. And if and me personally, yeah, they're going after him for the wrong reasons. So far, do you agree with that? Do you feel like people are going after Hormaxer for something that he isn't, or something he might be, rather than what he is?
I honestly don't know. I mean, me and Sarah, I mean, the way it happened, as I explained in my post, is that here, you want me to pull up my post and go
Yeah,
through?
let's do that. Let's do that.
So it should be on my community. Let's go to community. Let me go to my channel. Community. There you go. All right. So how it all begun. So one day, not your everyday Ashley wrote me that McDucis sent a letter to her co-workers that she is a pedo. Next, Greg started calling Street Maxer, Hormaxer, a pedo. I
Yep.
asked Greg to stop. Now, why did I ask Greg to stop? I mean, I was already against calling people pedos, but this was right after the story with Ashley. So
Mhm.
I was sensitive because I was afraid that the same thing that happened to Ashley is going to happen to Hormaxer. Now, I don't know Ashley. At this point, I barely knew Ashley, and I did not know Hormaxer. But I felt like, Ashley came to me and, she was devastated when this happened, and I barely knew her.
Right.
So I felt her pain, and when Greg was doing this, I was very sensitive, and in general, I'm very sensitive to this pedo accusation. I never
Mhm.
liked it, and this is also, I think, this is after the Minka affair. That also this is related because McDuchess was accused of being a pedo, and that's how Minka got involved. So the whole Minka affair is
Mhm.
due to accusations. Actually, not it was Ashley who apparently insinuated that McDuchess was a pedo, and he took it for an actual accusations, and he went and attacked her as a pedo. So everybody's accusing everybody as being a pedo just in self-defense.
Yeah, let's
Anyway,
stop there. Yeah, that's perfect. Like to lay out all that stuff, because that makes so much sense. That's like, yeah, because like you said, self defense. Everybody's just like attacking each other, using it, putting a pedo jacket on each other to try to attack and discredit people and slander people's character and all that shit. And I think
mhm.
that was super ridiculous. I think I think weaponizing pedophilia is very stupid. I think the fact that people have weaponized it has made calling out actual pedophilia a little bit harder, even if it's not by like a super large percent. I think the next time somebody calls somebody a pedo, it's going to be like, oh, you mean like Ashley or like Minka, who turned out not to be like, people are just not going to take it as seriously, and I think they diminish the value of the word when they overuse it in that way and accuse people of overusing it in that way. And yeah, so I agree with everything that you're saying.
Okay. I mean, it's not just that. It's. I mean, obviously, you're at the end of the day, you're actually harming children. You're actually harming children. You are literally harming children. For whatever that's worth. I mean, these people believe that abortion is perfectly okay. I'm not judging anyone either way. I'm just saying the same people that believe abortion is 100% okay
Mm-hmm.
also believe that children are so you should protect the children, and that's why they go crazy and cuckoo over the whole pedo thing. But it's the same people. I mean, just like a minute ago, you said we can abort this fetus,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're saying let's destroy the world because we need to protect these very fetuses you were about to abort nonchalantly. Never mind, whatever. Okay, fine. Anyway, let me just keep reading because I mean this is so complicated. Anyway, so next I was on Ashley's channel and we were discussing how Greg is behaving towards Hormaxer. That's that is when Alex joined and started accusing me of being a pedo. So Alex, from out of the blue, started accusing me of being a pedo. Why? Because I was just trying to figure out what Hormaxer did that people might construe as wrong. I was asking what wrong did Hormaxer do?
Right.
And
And what
that's it.
specifically? Like, because people just say talking to kids. It's like, okay, talking to kid in what way? How did he do it? What was his goal? What was his intention?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And
I,
and,
I
and
still I
yeah, go
still
ahead,
to
go ahead.
this I still to this day have no idea. I never looked into it. I never analyzed it. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm still there. I'm still waiting to continue that conversation that Alex interrupted
Yeah.
and and aimed all the artillery at me for
Right.
asking what's going on with Street Maxer. Why did Street Maxer did he do anything wrong? So Alex turned everything against me because I'm asking a question, which that by itself tells you everything you need to know about Alex.
Right. No.
Anyway,
Let's stop there. I
okay.
think the the issue is, and this is something I actually have issue with Alex with. Like, you were defending Hormaxer, and
I wasn't
they.
defending. I wasn't defending. I was trying to figure out.
Hmm.
I wasn't defending. I don't even know what it means to defend.
I
I
get what you're
wasn't
saying.
defending. I mean, I'm asking what. It's just a question. What do you think he did wrong? That's defending.
Oh, I see where the miscommunication happened. They were saying they were okay when you said what did he do wrong. Not those exact words, I'm assuming, but when you said that, they interpreted that as he did nothing wrong. That's what they heard.
Maybe. Look, this is the presumption of innocence. That's besides the point. The presumption is innocence. Is a person is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So even if we conclude 100% that he murdered the universe, it means
Right.
nothing. We still have the presumption of innocence until he's proven guilty in front of a judge with whatever it takes
Right.
legally. Until then, he must be presumed innocent. So, but that's besides the point. I'm still asking, what do people think that he did wrong, if anything? I'm just collecting evidence on the field. I'm just a field officer
Yeah.
doing, or a field reporter. I'm just doing my background uh, analysis for this story. I'm just a
Right.
journalist. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And for that, and this is very similar to the Minka affair,
Yeah.
how Ashley and Natalia and a list of people kicked me out of the stream when I was trying to figure out what their accusation against Minka was. I was just trying to figure out what are you accusing her of. For
Right.
that, they kicked me out. How dare you ask? You're our friend, and Alex is your friend, and we're your friends. All right, so that's the and they kicked me out. They wouldn't even let me ask. I
Oh
never
wait,
had
so,
a
so wait for that. I think that's separate. That we're jumping a little bit, but so when you were asking about a separate situation, which was the Minka Ashley debacle or whatever, you were just asking what did Minka do wrong or whatever, and they took that
Yes,
as again Minka did nothing wrong,
yes,
or I'm not on your side. That's what they interpreted your actions or your questions as. So they said, "Oh, you're not on my side. You're not my friend. Get out of here." And so they kicked you out. So this is consistent. I would say it's just I'm just saying like chronologically it happened separately from the Hormax stream. I'm just trying to make that distinction. But okay.
yes.
But
All right, let's continue reading. Anyway, that is when Alex joined and started accusing me of being a pedo. LOL. Since then, the anti pedo mob has turned against me. So the
Right.
manosphere has become nothing but a mob of zombies infected by the woke mind virus. I try talking sense, but at this point I have to cut my losses and give up.
All right, let's stop there. So you're
Mhm.
correct. I think Alex, what Alex did was, and this is yeah, and this is based off your word, what you're telling me now. Alex was basically saying, you don't see anything wrong with that. You must be a pedophile. That's what he's saying pretty much. And he try to ask you about your sexuality because you were inquiring about the actions of somebody online that had nothing to do with sex, or maybe sex related, maybe the topic of sex or who he was talking about sex with, but they weren't questioning. They were. I think you were asking not even about his sexuality, but what he did wrong, how he spoke wrong, and then Alex turned that into questioning your sexuality, which I don't think is really fair. I think this whole time, and this is hindsight 50-50, of course, you did kind of let them put your sexuality on the stand when that's not what we were talking about at all. We were talking about another person and his actions and what was wrong with it here or there. To put that on your set is kind of what is it? Not ad hom, but like it's when you attack some. It's when somebody's like has a point, but instead of addressing the point, you just make it about them and something irrelevant. I forgot what that's
Yeah.
called, the debate term, but that's what happened. And
That's
so now, oh, what's it
yeah.
called?
No, it's probably pretty much ad hominem. But you could also say it's red herring. He's changing the topic. A red herring is when you completely change the topic. So I just
Mm,
like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, so Hormaxer was being accused. Oh, look, for all I care, my conclusion is Hormaxer did nothing wrong because they're accusing me of the same thing. So I obviously Hormaxer did nothing wrong. I mean, this is utter nonsense. And we never had the conversation about Hormaxer. So they're refusing to have the conversation about Hormaxer, and they're accusing me of the same crimes. Conclusion: the whole thing is nonsense. It's
okay. Yeah, I feel like when they do just start just throwing it out there again, this is what I was talking about before. When you throw out the pedo word lightly, it loses meaning. Like nobody cares that much. Like now you're doubting. So whatever Hormax said, he could be the worst person in the world, but you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt because they accused you of the same thing with very little evidence. So
right.
now we muddied the waters.
Exactly. So it might be that yeah, Hormaxer is a terrible person, but at this point, I believe that he's even more innocent than the average person because I know what they did to me. So my assumption is they did the same thing to him. So he must be innocent.
Right. Yeah, and I think that was all on them. I think that's where they messed up, and I will have to give Ashley credit, even though she kind of played with it, toyed with it a little bit. She actually was on your side of saying, "Hey, let's just not call each other. Let's just not call people pedos outright." I don't know. Her exact reasoning might be the same, but like she was also one of the ones I was like, "Yeah, let's just stop doing that. It's cringe." And I think Alex at a certain point was also saying, yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. He was going against Greg and saying, let's not call people pedos. Well, no. To be fair, he was saying, let's not call Hormax a pedo because he's. We just don't know. That's a crime. It's just let's attack him for what he's doing versus what you think he might do in the future or whatever. But when it came to you, um, he didn't technically Alex never called you a pedophile. He just said you're defending uh you're taking a pedophilia position, which I don't think necessarily even think you did at any point. I just think your basically aversion or apathy to like somebody, let's say this is the main example where he keeps on getting you, he keeps on nailing you on this every time is if somebody went to another country and went to sleep with 13-year-olds, do you disown them? And because you didn't say yes, he
I
took that
said
no. Oh, what'd
I
you say?
said
What'd you say?
whatever I said whatever the law says.
Okay. And so you said whatever loss was. So now now he interpreted that as you must. Okay, so here's what happened. He said, here's where he's thinking. He said, I believe that anybody under 18 is a kid and is able to not consent to sex. Now, any place that has a age of consent lower than 18, that place is okay with harming kids. I don't approve of it, whatever, whatever. And so what he interpreted that as is you don't mind uh, children being hurt, therefore you are pro pedophilia because you don't mind when children get hurt and all that stuff. And I'm not saying
Wait,
that's terrible. That's a terrible argument, but that's where he's coming from.
I don't have a position. I'm just saying what I do, whatever the law says. I don't have a position. I don't believe in morality. I don't care. The word morality for me does not exist. All I have is the law. So my
Mhm.
answer is whatever the law says. What do you mean care, don't care? I don't care. I don't care about anyone. I only care about
Right.
myself. I'm an egoist. I don't care about the children. I don't care
Right.
about anyone. That's a given. I'm amoral. You have a problem with that? Call support. But
Yeah, but I'll say this. I'll say that that is let me see. The fact that you said you don't have morals or you're moral-less, I think um is fine. I don't necessarily believe you 100%. I think you do have morals to some degree. I just don't know. I just think they're unconventional morals or not typical morals. Therefore, people interpret it as you being moralless. I think that you I, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you believe in some type of you believe in fairness. I think
no,
you don't
absolutely
believe in
not.
fairness.
Absolutely not.
So if
I'm an
let me
egoist. I'm an egoist. I'm at the center of this universe.
mhm. So you're saying that you don't. So if you're an egoist, why would you defend somebody at the cost of your own?
Because we
Uh,
have to we live in a society, and if we don't defend each other against criminals, then the criminals have every incentive to attack us. So they'll attack me. They might attack me. But if law-abiding citizens are standing shoulder to shoulder against the criminals, we're strong together. So we have
oh,
to defend each other. It's a practical, it's a pragmatic strategy to
wait a minute.
benefit me.
Yes, but now you're saying you believe in pragmatism,
What do you mean believe in? It's what do you mean believe? I am I'm an egoist. I
right?
only care for myself. I'll do
Right.
whatever it takes to benefit for my life to be better.
Right. Okay. Okay. I believe you on that. But then now you're
No.
saying you believe in practicality. You believe in practicality, and you believe that
What do you mean
you should.
believe what do you mean believe in practicality? In order to have this one life, to live this best life, I am looking for a strategy to maximize my benefit in this one life. The strategy is we as law-abiding citizens need to support each other against the criminals. Otherwise, the criminals have an incentive to attack any one of us and all of us. So, and if we're not going to defend each other, the criminals win.
Right.
We're going to live in a terrible society. We're not going
Right.
to want to live in that society. So if
But even what
Mhm.
even what you're saying, you just gave a societal prescription for just basically fucking like chaos. You said as a society we should do these things in order to benefit myself mostly,
Yes,
but
not
other
mostly,
people.
only. I'm only
Oh,
looking to
okay,
benefit myself.
okay.
In
So
order
even
to
from
benefit myself, I have to benefit society. I have no choice. I have to benefit the law, not to, like I don't want to benefit. I mean, I'm benefiting the law-abiding citizens like me because because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not a criminal. If I were a criminal, we would have a different conversation. I would say, I don't know. I'd have to rethink it. But as a person who decided to take the strategy of the law-abiding citizen, so we law-abiding citizens need to stand together shoulder to shoulder and defend each other even to the death against a criminal. So the criminal knows it's crime doesn't pay. The criminal has to know crime does not pay. And then we can have a better society. Then we can live in heaven. But if the criminal knows that he can attack any one of us and we're not going to help each other, then he's going to attack. One day you, one day me, one day she, he's just going to roam around hurting people, and then other people are going to see this and they're going to say, hey, that's a good strategy. I'll go around stealing and murdering, and society is going to be turned upside down. We're going to live in hell. That's no
Right.
fun.
No, I still like when we all the things you said, you can be an egoist and still believe in things and have morals. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, there's no
It,
morals. There's no morals. No, absolutely not. I'm
yeah,
amoral.
yeah, but okay, but if you have no morals and you're amoral, why do you believe that people can't harm you?
What?
Why
What
do
do
you
you
believe
mean?
that people like if you have no morals, why do you believe why do you not why do you harm why don't you harm other people? Why don't you allow people to harm you?
I mean, I do harm, for example, animals. Right? I eat animals.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this balance. We harm criminals. If we catch a criminal, I'm pro very stiff punishment. We harm other nations. I'm pro going to full war against anyone who declares war against any citizen of the United States. We need to go balls to the walls. I mean, they need to definitely suffer. That we need to crush them. Anyone. You even make a threat, so much as make a threat against we the United States, we the United States have to crush you so that no one will ever even wink in that direction. This is my belief.
Okay.
So I'm very stringent, I'm very forceful. I'm not a nice guy by any means. I'm a
Okay.
very mean guy, but I'm willing to be mean because I feel that if I send a message that I'm ready to be mean, then the criminals will say, okay, we're going to be nice. And then everybody will be nice. Everybody will be nice. At the end of the day, we'll have a much better society. We'll have a
Mhm.
great life. It's just a strategy. There's no morals. The word moral doesn't exist.
I would. We could. Okay, I don't have to use the word morals. I'll say that you definitely employ strategies to enhance your own happiness,
Exactly.
and it goes. It's a principle, so it's like it's not you build out your behaviors and habits out of those strategies, if you will.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, yeah. If it was a word thing, then sure, we'll call it
It's
strategy.
not morality. It's not morality. I don't. In my book, it doesn't say. There's nowhere where it says "Thou shalt not murder." That doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. I don't have that as a commandment in my moral code
No
either.
commandments. In my book, there's no commandments. There is only one commandment: do whatever you can to enhance your life. That's it. Now, it happens to be in order to enhance your life. It's the best strategy is if we all cooperate in one society and be nice to each other, at least as long as we're law-abiding citizens. If you don't like the law, change the law. But as long as that's the law, you obey the law, you can change it. Probably if you can convince enough people that you can improve the situation. So that's it. No morality. I'm amoral. So I don't care about the children. When you tell me, oh, the children are going to suffer, I don't care. But I do care because it would come back to bite me. Because if children are going to suffer, then the children are going to, for example, they're going to grow up to be messed up adults and society is going to collapse. That's not good. So we need to take care of the children because they're the next generation. They're going to take care of us. We need them to be functional. We need them to be normal. We need them to be healthy. And we need them to believe what we believe. So it doesn't make sense to just let them be raped. So I don't want the children to be raped, not because I love the children. I love the children because I love all animals and I love all humans, but that's because I love myself. But the
Hmm.
reason, but the main motivator why I will defend a child with my life is because of the strategy that we're strong together.
Okay. So you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. So you're just basically saying you don't necessarily you would defend anybody, including children. Like it's not like a especially children type thing.
And
You're like,
dogs. If I see
and
a
yeah,
criminal threatening a dog or a cat, I would do the same. because the same criminal who's going to kill a dog or a cat, I'm next on his menu. Why would you hurt a dog or a cat? I mean, you must be a sociopath. So I need to. I know where this is heading. I know where this road ends. So I need to stop you dead in your tracks. You're not gonna hurt a dog. You're not gonna hurt a cat. You're not gonna hurt any animal that I think suggests that you're a psychopath and you're gonna hurt me, or you're gonna hurt me next. If I have the sense that you're behaving like a psychopath, like a sociopath, then
Mhm.
I'm gonna even risk my life to stop you, because we need to stand together as a society. We
Right.
need to send the signal. The signal has to be clear. The message has to be clear to the criminals. It's not worth it. Don't be a criminal. We're gonna chop your head off. Don't do it. So everybody behaves. Everybody is well behaved, and then we can live our lives very, very, very comfortably. because because then there's no damage in the long run. Everything runs. No one paints graffiti on buildings, and no one destroys property. No one burns down neighborhoods. No one riots. Everything is fantastic. So you build a building, and the building is going to remain there for 1,000 years because no one is going to burn it down. So you improve the quality of life. Everyone gets to live a much better life if you have
Uh,
peace. This is the idea of peace, of achieving peace in our time. As what was his name? Who said this? What was the name of the robot that
Ultron?
Ultron? Yeah, peace in our times.
Oh shit. Yeah, but okay, so I feel like I got a your fleshed out worldview now. Yeah, I would use different words, but definitely see where you're coming from. I think it's sort of consistent. Self-preservation.
It's more than self-preservation. I want to maximize this one life that I have that I can live. I want to maximize the heck out of it. I want to enjoy it the most. Now, how can I enjoy it the most? What's the strategy to maximize the the heck out of this life?
Right.
So I need to be safe before anything. I cannot let anyone chop my head off before I die of old age. So how do I do that? I need a safe society. How do I do that? We need to be strong together. I don't see an alternative.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I guess to combat that, I would say, um, they feel. How would you respond to somebody that says Cormaxer is a danger to society because he is, and this is but basically he is communicating to children in a way that might harm them, and so anybody
How
that
how
well,
might it harm them?
okay,
I
they
mean,
would
to,
say that.
to talk about children as if they are these delicate angels. I know children. Children are, I don't want to say mostly little devils, but I mean to
I mean, it's
claim
not
that,
far off.
but to claim that children are these little angels. What these children? How do they talk to each other? What, children are not having sex?
Right,
Children aren't watching porn?
right.
Children, I mean, the first thing I was online with two chicks. The first thing she said is, "Can I see your? I want to see your dick." The first thing, a little girl. She just wants to. They just want to see dick. Wait, that's not me. That's them. I'm not saying they
Right,
were under. I
right.
don't think they were underage. I
Well,
think
it's
this was
irrelevant to the point. It's like it's a girl online that wants to see your dick. Like that's kind
fine.
of
She
like
wants to see. Okay, so what? So what? If I don't show her my dick, what? She has no access to a picture of a dick? Are you out of your mind?
correct. Okay, makes sense.
Not just that. You think she doesn't have friends in her class that she can't walk up to and say, "Show me your dick," and he's not gonna whip it out? In what universe is a boy not gonna whip out his dick to show a chick? I don't think
Well,
we live in the same universe.
right.
These
Okay.
chicks, so these chicks have raging hormones. I mean, I'm an old man. I barely think about sex. I mean, I'm doing no fap. I forgot about sex altogether. It's like I'm probably 6 months now. I haven't touched my pee in 6 months. I haven't touched it. Like I don't think about it.
Hmm.
So I mean, I would never have been able to do this when I was young. When I was like your age or 18, 16. I used to have 24-hour hard on. I was always with a hard on. Today it's like only 12 hours. Anyway, it's like it's only during the night. Anyway, so my point being that to claim that like we're turning children into these angelic, super angelic creatures that if you only talk, Alex says don't even talk to them. Alex doesn't say don't sexualize. Alex says don't talk to not children, anyone under 18.
Okay, yeah, that was a little silly. I'm gonna say this
No,
publicly. That's super
no, but
silly to say that.
it's not super silly. This shows you what Alex is. He's just a virtue signaler. Come on,
Oh,
what are you
I would
talking?
agree on these points. Yeah, it's virtue signaling.
So
What do you
he's
mean?
just so the whole thing is pretend. Alex is just getting virtue signaling points by. This is a witch hunt. He wants to deflect. I don't know what skeletons he's got in his what do you say, in his closet? He got
Yeah, Skeletons of the Closet
skeletons
is
in his
the
closet. I don't know what he's got, but I've never seen anyone so accusatory of everyone around him of this pedophilia, endless pedophilia. I went to
Mhm.
Coach Whitebill and I texted him. I wrote in one of the comments, "Hey, I unsubscribed from Alex." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because he accused me of being a pedophile." So he writes back, "Yeah, he seems to accuse everyone of that."
Yeah,
That's Coach Whitebill. And then I discovered that he did accuse other people before me. Like he accused Ganstar. He accused Ganstar of being a pedophile.
really?
That's what Ganstar told me when this happened. So Ganstar told me, that he did that to me. He did this to me too. So Ganstar says he did it to him. Who else? I guess Hormaxer, he did it too.
Mhm.
I don't know who else. I guess maybe Caduceus, but that's more Ashley. I don't think Alex did. Anyway, I don't know who else, but Coach Whitebill says that that's the feeling he got, that he
Right,
accuses everyone. Anyway,
right.
so
Oh, I was gonna say for so the accusing thing, like I said, it muddies the waters. I would say that what was it? What did you say about Alex exactly? I'm just trying to think again. That oh, you can't talk to kids underage, like bro, like that happens all the time. Like I don't, maybe Alex is in like some weird like headspace or like
because
thinking like
he doesn't have children, no one around him has children, he doesn't go to a gym with children. I go to a gym with children. I am always surrounded by children, to little children. I mean, really little. I mean,
really at the gym. What
of
gym?
course at the gym we have very young children, of course, like we of course. What do you mean?
No, okay,
Not, I
maybe.
don't do weights. I don't do weights.
Oh,
I do
that's what I
more
was thinking.
because kids, they do martial arts. So there's martial arts, and kids do martial arts.
Oh,
So
okay, that makes sense.
all the moms bring all the kids. I'm always surrounded by kids. Sometimes I have to teach kids. Um, I mean, I don't want to dox myself, but I have a lot of interaction with kids. I mean, to say not to interact with kids, that is
You can't have a
listen.
whatever it is you have with
No, no, listen to the following. To tell me not to interact with kids, that's harming the kids.
right.
If that's harming the kids, I mean, the kids need interaction with adults. I
I
mean,
sort of agree with that. Yeah, there's a certain point where you do grow as a child, you grow in development by interacting with people older than you, and at a certain age, those older people will be adults. So it's like you do have to learn a little bit, and get some social skills
I mean,
from
look,
people older than you.
I happen to be like a super nanny when it comes to kids. Like I can very easily interact with the worst behaving kids under my supervision become angels. Anyway, so like even if you walk a dog, so there's kids that anyway it's so ridiculous. Only Alex can say something like don't talk to chicks under 18, and he says don't talk at all, and and under 18 it's like, and they have to say that they're not, that they're over 18, so you trust them once they say, oh, you trust them. How many kids are gonna lie so you don't care that
Yeah,
they lie? Because he's all about optics. He always says it's bad optics, man. It's bad optics. I asked him, what's why? He says it's bad optics, man. Bad optics. Because he's just about the optics. He doesn't care about the children. He honestly, I don't care about the children
but
directly. I
you're
care
honest.
about,
Yeah, you're
no,
honest
no,
about it.
I don't care about them directly. I don't care about the universe directly, but I care about the universe very much indirectly because I live in this universe. I don't care about you, but I care about society. So I'll die for you because we have to be willing to die for each other, because I know if I will die for you, then you might want to die for me. So then we're strong. Otherwise, Otherwise, they pick us apart. The criminals will pick us apart. Our enemies will pick us apart. We have no choice but to die for each other. So the children are important to me, at least in that. Besides, I love children because they're so cute and they always make you laugh. They're always so funny. But 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 like even like what you would call moral, like morally, because we live in a society, I need to make sure the kids are on are on the right page with society. Anyway, but for Alex, it's bad optics. So Alex doesn't care. Alex has missed bad optics. It's bad optics, man. It's bad optics. That's the beginning, the middle of and end of Alex. That's as far.
Right.
So so for him to tell me that I'm a pedo, if it's good optics for him, he's gonna do it. He
I
doesn't
I
care.
think yes, 100%. I completely agree that he's calling you a pedo and just denouncing you. A lot of it for optics. I believe that.
Now, the price is society. Society pays a price for what he's doing to me because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm an upstanding member of our community. I'm a good guy. I'm not a criminal. I would gladly die for anyone for anyone. I would gladly die for a cat and a dog. Gladly, I would give my life because I know everyone would give their lives for me. I'm assuming that. I have to assume that, and that is how I think we should all live. But I certainly lead by example.
Hmm.
So, but he's telling me, no, don't be a member of society. Like, fuck society. What he's causing me to do, he's actually telling me to stay away from kids, to stay away from society. He is ripping society apart. And he is making it easy for the predators. Now, if a predator comes to a child, the child doesn't know me, the child is not going to come to me for help. So this is perfect for a predator. So Alex is actually, he's using the predator strategy. The predator strategy is to accuse everyone of pedophilia. This way everyone stays away from the kids, and the predator can attack the kids. It's like HIV. HIV. You know what HIV does? How HIV kills the body, the host.
It makes the basically makes it destroys itself or something. I don't know exactly.
Almost. It attacks the immune system itself. The immune system. So Alex is basically, and this is the problem with virtue signaling with the woke mind virus. The woke mind virus is attacking all the institutions that are designed to defend society against such an attack. such as the woke mind virus. The woke mind virus is a societal HIV. It attacks, it knows exactly what to attack. It attacks and takes over the very institutions that are designed to defend against such an attack. And that's what Alex is doing. He's attacking me and deterring me from being able, from wanting to talk to children, talk to adolescents, you know, help them, lend an ear. No, now all of us, we're terrified. We live in a world that Alex created, a world where we're terrified to talk to children. Before I met Alex, I used to never speak to women because TFM does the same thing with women. TFM says, don't talk to women. It's so dangerous. Alex says, don't talk to, yes, you can talk to women, but you can't talk to children. That's so dangerous.
Right.
But he makes sure that you really know it's dangerous because he accuses you. He tries to destroy you.
Right.
Anyway.
No, I think you said a lot of good things. I just wanted to get one or 2 points in. I would say that yeah, so basically I think that what is it called? It's perfectly fine to have appropriate conversations with kids. Like that's really easy. That's really simple to say. I don't know. I don't believe in the fact that you can't talk to children ever. Like, no, if it's like fucking, I don't know, like let's say somebody's like, you have a dog. Someone asks you about your dog, and they happen to be like fucking 12. You can say, hey, my dog is this, my dog is that. Like, there is a way to do it. I just don't like the idea of. I don't like the idea of like, and maybe this is maybe just playing with fire brand. He has to do playing with fire brand. I don't like the idea of no cross pollination. There's no mentorship. There's no guiding people until they turn 18. I think that's a little bit stupid. And I think even to debunk that, all you could say is, well, if am I allowed to mentor kids or whatever? Like, if you're not allowed to mentor them, then what the fuck? But like, I'd say overall, it's just a little really silly. And also, there are certain worlds like the skateboard world, what gaming a little bit. Gaming is a little bit sussy, but still gaming. Like, there are places where it's like you're talking to people where it's not like a fucking 18 plus server or whatever, and it's like it could get sussy a little bit, but I say overall it's like most of the time, or a vast majority of those interactions are like, even if they're toxic, it's like it's pretty appropriate. Like nobody goes away feeling being abused or anything like that. So I just think I think it's very silly to say what he said. And yeah, that's that. And the other thing is I'm trying to think of a distinction. I think, now does Ashley agree with you? I think Ashley agrees with you. As far as I know, in terms of like, well, no, like in terms of let's not never talk to anybody below 18. I think that's a little silly. I think she would say. I think even Sarah would say that's a little silly. I think I know what Alex was getting at, but he was saying more so online when you're on this Playing with Fire channel. Try not to talk to kids on Omegle. But to be honest, to be fair, Omegle's full of teenagers. So you're on a teenage app saying don't talk to you. Like it's stupid. If you're worried about that, don't get on the damn website or whatever. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think also too the whole just the self ID thing for the age thing. I don't think that's enough, in my opinion, because people lie or all that stuff. I would just say it's a kind of hypocritical to be on Omegle and then say just don't talk to kids or whatever. So, and then what I was saying with like the roasting kids and all that stuff, I'm an edgelord. I like edgy content. I've seen people do it or whatever, but I wasn't saying do that. It's just like have a little bit of fun. Like I was just saying troll them or like make a funny accent or whatever. Like just give more content out. That's what I was suggesting, and he was like, no, let's not do that or whatever. But I don't know. It's up to him. It's definitely his channel or whatever. I just don't necessarily agree with his reasonings on why not do it, whatever. But I would say no. What is it? I forgot. I forgot the rest of your post. I forgot what the next sentence was, but we can find it afterwards. After we find a good Oh, okay.
Hear this?
Yeah, I cannot talk to virtue signaling NPCs. I disagree with that. I just think you need if you want to, you need a different strategy, because the way that you interact with like the Alex chat, they don't like this whole idea of debating ideas or seeing definitions. They want you to give firm answers on things that they feel are important for the well-being of people around them. So what you can do, or you can do it. I would say that if you ever want to, I think you should, if you ever want to, I don't think you necessarily have to. You should just ask for a debate format or ask to debate the ideas of the other people. And whenever they try to deflect, like, okay, do you like this? Do you like that? You should say, no, we're talking about
No, I'll tell
this.
you. No,
Okay,
I
go.
mean, I don't want to go on. Look, from day one, even from before day one, Alex was abusive. My whole relationship with Alex was always abusive.
In what
So
way? You gotta be specific when you throw out that word.
he called me a little bitch before my first appearance. He called me delusional multiple times.
Wait, that's I'm not hearing anything about abuse right now. A little bit, maybe a little bit, but besides delusion, that's
No,
just
what do you
being
mean?
mean. I don't hear
What-
anything
So
about
what?
abuse right now. It's just
So
being
how
mean.
do you define abuse?
Abuse is, oh, this is a super tough question, but I would say abuse is
All right,
being,
call it whatever you want. I mean, he was mean to me. He was hurtful.
yeah, oh yeah,
If you
mean and
don't,
hurtful. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
abuse is just it's an abusive relationship. I mean, it's mentally abusive, verbally abusive. And I'm not saying it's physically abusive, but
No,
it's
I'm
an
saying it's
abusive. It's a
extremely
toxic.
okay, toxic. Cool, cool.
It's
You
a
do that.
toxic relationship that I enjoyed it a little bit, but I also didn't enjoy it a little bit. It was always, I guess, balanced. But lately, with the pedophilia, it became unsustainable. It became something that I was an unwilling participant already. It went overboard. That's too much. I'm not in. I'm out. I tapped out because it was unbalanced. All the time, it was balanced because I was being entertained and I was entertaining and it was kind of funny, but it was getting worse and worse all the time. And
Hmm.
then it very quickly deteriorated to being very not worthwhile. So my time is expensive and I don't like I need to in my work I need to think very deeply. I spend hours and hours thinking,
Hmm.
so I cannot be bothered with nonsense. I cannot be bothered with, oh, he said this to me. Oh, next time I'll say. I cannot strategize because my brain, once I have a discussion, my brain runs through the discussion in repeat, in a loop, and rewinds again and reruns until I crack the code and I figure out what I should have said. I should have said this. Until then, I cannot work. My brain is in a deadlock.
Okay.
So, and for that reason, I cannot be in a. I came to the internet to relax from my work. I cannot have the internet influence my work negatively. That's not the purpose. My life is terrific. I really enjoy my life. I don't want the internet to ruin the terrificness of my life. And at this point, it has begun to ruin the terrificness of my life. And for that reason, it doesn't make any more sense. It doesn't make sense any longer to be on Alex's channel. It was always a balancing act, but now it became the balance is gone and it became negative more than it used to always be. Negative positive were balanced, but now the negative outweighed the positive by a lot.
Okay,
So
so I'll say this, that you were in a position and this is being 100%, this is being extremely this is a guy, bro. All right, do you want me to let this guy up?
wait, let me see. I mean, as long as he's not gonna pin flash, guy
I don't
bro,
know
we
him.
need no guy bro. We need to see your face. So let's ignore him until he shows his face.
Cool.
We need to see camera, otherwise
Right.
it's pin flash.
Okay, so what I would say is yeah, I think you objectively, in my opinion, you were oh my, just all right, whatever. I just read the private chat. So I guess got annoyed by his response to saying "show me your face." It's annoying me. But basically, you were a lol cow. People came to laugh at you and laugh at the life that you live. Laugh at.
I don't think so. I honestly
I
don't think so.
Okay. So what place did you have in that stream, and what value did you bring outside of people laughing at you?
You can read the comments, and in the discussions, in the panels, and in the speed dates. It's not black and white. Alex might have laughed at me, but Alex used to always ask me to join. Alex enjoyed my my input, but I think many people were entertained by me. I think
No,
people were
I'm not saying they
entertained.
weren't. You mistake me. I said
But
you were
but
a
my
lol cow. I'm not saying they're not entertained.
no. Everything I did was very thoughtful. If I got people to laugh, it was very thoughtful. This was a strategy. This is not something that just happened by itself. Here,
Hmm.
we're having a conversation. You're not laughing. You're not lolling because that's not my intention.
Hmm.
If I'm on Alex's channel, I will try to be funny. I'll try to be, I'll try to have twists in the plot, like say something straight faced and then go 360 degrees and confuse everyone, and go 360 degrees again and reconfuse.
Hmm.
Because I know that gets views. I know that makes everyone, everyone enjoys it. It's like I'm massaging everyone's brain. It's done with incredible intent. It's very thoughtful. The fact that Alex didn't appreciate it, fine. Alex is Alex. He
Right.
thinks I lost every debate that I won. He thinks I lost. That's Alex. What can I
Well,
do? I'm
yeah, but all I'm saying is the fact that you have intent still doesn't absolve you of the lol cow designation because they are still laughing at you, even if your intention is
No,
for them to laugh at you.
that's not true. That's not true.
So you
Not
don't
true.
think the comments were laughing at you or saying you're ridiculous, you're this, you're that, or
No, look, some of the comments, you can divide it up. Like some of the people were true haters. Like Black v Silver is a true hater. The guy kept begging Alex to ban me. At least towards the end. I mean, for the last month, begging Alex to ban me. Then you had Ashley, and Ashley kind of liked me. She used to be really attracted to me. Later on, a little bit less. Today, she's okay. She's a friend. Then you have Sarah. Sarah turned out to be, I think she abuses her children because
you
she's
have
like
no
Alex.
idea.
What?
Yeah, I said you have no idea. Jesus Christ.
I told her, would you treat your children the way you're treating me? Basically, she said yes. So
No,
she's a
well, no,
child.
no, no. She was correcting behavior that she felt was wrong. That's not abuse. That's giving somebody direction. She would
That's
give her children
abuse.
direction.
That's abuse. That's abuse. You
Well,
can.
okay, you go ahead.
My father used to abuse me and give it every name in the book. Of course, he did not call it abuse. Of course, he does not admit he never admitted that he ever abused me.
Well, I'm not. Well, look, you're not complaining
Hitler,
because now you're
Hitler,
saying,
Hit, Hitler would not admit that he did anything wrong. Hitler, to the death, would say, "I did everything I did was for the motherland."
but okay, so but
Everything.
now all you're saying is anybody who doesn't admit to an abuse is an abuser, and that's not like I know
No,
what you're saying, but like that's self-evident. Like if you are an
no,
abuser and you don't admit to it, you're still an abuser because that was the first thing I said.
no. I asked her, "Would you treat me? Would you treat your children how you treat me?" She said, "Yes." Done. That's for me. That's a child abuser. So she probably does.
No, but that's the thing. Not you have to because with the words that you use might not be the words that you use. When she's thinking child abuse, she's thinking of extreme emotional harm, extreme physical harm,
It
extreme
doesn't matter.
psychological harm.
I'm giving you my opinion. It's not. It's not important.
No, no,
It's my intuition. It's not important. It's my intuition. It's not
no,
important.
no, no.
It's
But
not.
you're still saying it out loud. That's the thing. So when you say things out loud, you are up to basically people are allowed to critique what you say and say, I don't think that's fair. I don't think this is this. I don't think that's that. Like only because of
I
saying somebody
have
in the
I
you go.
have reason to believe that she is a child abuser. She said to me, first of all, she's been abusing me. She's been very abusive. Now, first, second, she has been claiming that she has to be abusive because she has a 13-year-old girl or who knows what. Which again, this is virtue signaling, which makes me believe that she is abusing her child and she needs to fix it in her own eyes at least. She has to be a good mom, so she comes after me. She pretends like I'm a bad guy, I'm bad to children, and she comes after me to fix it in her mind. Now she's no longer a bad mom because in her mind she's probably a bad mom. So
Okay,
that
so I just want to have make sure this is clear. You think she's abusive because she thinks you're a bad person.
no, no, I don't know what she thinks. She's abusing me for no reason. As far as I'm concerned,
No reason?
as far as
No,
I'm
no reason at
concerned.
all.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. As far as I'm
No, but
concerned, she has no reason to abuse me.
okay, so what if she feels you're a danger to people and
There's no
people would
reason. There's no reason to believe that. Why would she believe it? What evidence? She and Ashley should feel the same way. They both have the same information. Ashley told her today, stop abusing Mr. Slave. You know what she wrote back to Ashley?
I have no idea.
She wrote no.
Okay.
So now Ashley is a normal. Apparently, look. As far as I'm concerned, Ashley is normal, and Sarah is dysfunctional. If Sarah is
Look,
being told by Ashley stop the abuse, and she says no, that's all I need to know. Let me show you.
I gotcha. Also, we can get some visual noise up too. We're pretty much done with the post.
Here's Ashley, and this is the final thing. I just asked her again, and she said no. Ay,
Wait,
ay,
can I read
ay.
the other replies? I don't know the context.
Yeah, it's public. You can go to
I'm on my
Alex.
I'm on my phone. I can't do two things.
I'll show it, no problem. So this is the first comment. There's Ashley. She says, ha ha ha. Sarah was so funny in this stream. So I said, yeah, being abusive towards a man is just so funny. I think either they're deleting comments or I don't know. YouTube is not showing everything. I guess YouTube is not showing everything. So
Okay.
Ashley said in between like something like, "I thought you love it, Mr. Slave. I thought you love being abused."
Right.
I wrote back to Ashley, "It has to come from a place of love. The
Right.
woman must be getting wet from abusing me." I
Hmm.
kept asking Sarah if she's getting wet. She said no. So this was actual abuse. So no, I am not into actually being abused. BDSM is a form of love, not hate. LOL.
Right.
So Sarah says, "What is your love language?" So I said, "I don't know what you mean, but being abused is not what I'm looking for. Pretending that you thought that I enjoy being abused is just another layer of your abuse towards me. If
Only
it was
sentence with the abuse thing I'll agree with. Like, yeah, like that is sus if
I,
somebody says I
it,
thought you liked it in terms of being mean or whatever.
okay,
That's not
whatever. If it wasn't clear, then from now on it should be clear. Please stop abusing me. I am not your punching bag. Inside me is a child, much like your children, much like your children. Would you abuse them like you abuse me? If no, then please stop abusing me. If yes, then congrats. You are a child abuser.
Wait a minute, hold up now. But you know she feels strongly about her children. Why would you then call her a child abuser? If even if you were saying trying to play word games, you know what those words will do to her. So I
What do you
feel
mean?
like you intentionally invoked the child abuser label so she can feel strongly about it.
No, I wasn't thinking about it. I'm just saying if you treat your children the way you treat me, you are a child abuser. Technically, that's it. Nothing deep about it.
No, no, but that's pretty deep. I feel like this was. I'm not gonna say uh because to read your mind. I'm gonna say that's what came out. I'm not necessarily sure what your intention
Here,
was, but
let me show you.
okay.
Let me show you. Here, look. Imagine someone was abusing her child. Imagine Sarah was abusing Ashley's child, and Ashley would say, "Ha ha ha." Sarah was so funny in this stream. Okay, so imagine Ashley's child was being abused by Sarah, and Sarah would react like this.
Okay.
So to this, I say, would you abuse them like you abuse me? I mean, would you say, if this happened instead of me, it was your child, would you behave that way? If no, then please stop. If yes, then congrats, you're a child abuser. If you would have said this, if all the situation was identical, but except for instead of me, it was your child, everything else remained the same, then you're a child abuser. That's it. No, it's not more. It's just technical.
I know what you're saying, but there's implications and things behind it, which I feel
What do you mean?
okay. So for example, um I know that you feel it might be mean and people are making you feel bad, but I think in your mind, you know there's a difference between being mean and hurtful and abuse. Is there a difference in your mind?
No, no, there's no difference.
Okay, cool. That's fine. You can have that word, and that is for Mr. Slave. Abuse is being mean and hurtful. That's fine. But can you also acknowledge that other people
No,
might? Can you?
I don't
Okay,
see. I
you
don't
can't
see the
acknowledge other
difference.
people.
I don't see the difference. Abuse and hurtful and being mean are identical synonyms.
Oh, well,
Just
they're
synonyms.
identical for sure, but they're not the same thing.
Well, I don't see the difference. What you want to tell me what the difference? I
Yes.
don't know. I don't think there's a difference. And the way she behaved now, if she'd behaved towards her child the way she behaved towards me, that's child abuse. But I wouldn't call it any other word. It's just child abuse.
Okay, but okay. So abuse to me is extreme,
No,
prolonged.
that's extreme abuse. No, that's extreme abuse. You can be lightly abusive. You can be extremely abusive. But it's just a spectrum of abusiveness. Abuse is
Well,
not extreme bullying. Bullying and abusiveness, there are synonyms. You can be a little bit of a bully, a lot of a bully, a little bit of an abusive, a lot of abusive.
hmm
It's all the same word. I don't know if one word means more than the others.
well, that's fine. But can you acknowledge that other people don't feel the same way?
It doesn't matter because I'm not aware of it, and I'm talking to her. I'm unaware of the difference. So you're saying that I'm aware of the difference. I'm trying to invoke something. As far as I know, there is no difference. I'm not aware of a difference. I'm not trying to invoke anything. I'm just trying to technically tell her if she would behave this way toward the way she should behave towards me, she'd behave towards her children. That's child abuse. You want to call it something else? Call it something else. But it has to be at the end of the day either child abuse, child bullying, child hurtfulness, child something. Call it whatever you want. Child abuse is just standard dictionary word. I'm not.
Well, I don't think it. No, it's not standard dictionary. It's your dictionary because we've already established that you don't because you abuse equals mean equals hurtful equals bullying all that stuff. But that's not for everybody. And so all I'm saying is
But you said I have intent behind this sentence, but I'm not
right.
aware of the distinction between these words. So how can I have intent?
I would say that okay. So if you're not aware of the distinction between words, how can you have intent? I would say that I would just then say that you know that other people do have a distinction between the words. That's
No,
all I would say.
that's the point. I don't know. I didn't. I never thought that people have a different definition of abuse and bullying or hurtfulness.
In good faith, I'll believe you. All right, fine.
You
Sure.
out of your mind? Why would I lie? Why would I have no reason to lie? What are you
Well,
talking about?
well, I don't. I'm not gonna say that you do have a reason to lie, because then if your intention was to make
What was
Sarah feel bad, then you could always fall back on, well, I didn't know these words were different and all that stuff.
what do
So
you mean
you do
feel
have a
bad?
reason to lie. Yeah.
Obviously the word child abuser carries a lot of weight because it's child abuse. This is this is how I feel. I feel this is child abuse. I
Right.
didn't say child molestation. I didn't say child rape. I didn't say child murder. I didn't say many things. I said child abuse. Child abuse has tremendous weight. I don't use those words lightly. I said
Wait, but
if
so
you
you're saying if
if
you
I
called her a
were
child mean, a child bully, or a child, she was mean. If you're saying if she was mean, you would, if she was
I
mean
don't
to her children, you would mean the same thing as child abuser to you.
look, if my father behaved as she behaved today, I would accuse him of being a child abuser. This is child abuse. Look,
Well,
I
your
believe
father
many
did.
things. Look, I believe many things are child abuse that maybe you don't believe are child abuse. Like sending a child to school is child abuse. School
But
is child abuse.
okay, but can you acknowledge that other people don't feel the same? You just acknowledge that. Actually, I'm not even going to ask this question, and I'm going to
Yes.
make a statement.
Yes.
Yes.
Most people think, not most, a lot of people feel school is not child abuse.
Right. But
Taking
okay, but
taking the phone away from a child, a lot of people think is not child abuse. I think it's child abuse.
okay, that's fine. So, but if
But whatever she did here is child abuse. I think most people. I think I don't have another definition but child abuse. But it doesn't matter. Look, it's my opinion. It's
no,
I'm
no, but
very
it's your
sensitive.
opinion with a
I'm
loaded
obviously
word. You
I'm
loaded it.
obviously it's not. But I'm very sensitive to child abuse. I feel this is child abuse. If she would have taken my iPhone away, and I would have told her, listen, if you would have taken the phone away from your child, that would be child abuse. Don't take the phone away from an adult. It's the same as child abuse, but for
Well,
an
if you
adult.
took the phone away from you, that'd be very mean. I would agree. That's pretty mean if you took your actual phone away.
Okay, whatever. I doesn't. Like, I don't know where you. Honestly, I don't know where you're taking this conversation. I mean,
Well, I'm well,
I was not trying to make her feel extra guilty. I was just trying to make her feel guilty enough to maybe try and get her to feel how I feel. That's it.
okay, that I believe more, but this is the issue. I think that you had some type of internal definition of child abuse that you know is different from other people's, and you used your definition instead of trying to level with somebody because you wanted her to feel how you were feeling,
No,
basically.
this is how I always use the words child abuse. Always.
Well,
I'm very
I
sensitive
don't.
to children.
No, okay, so I think, okay, so I'll rephrase. I think that you use the word child abuse in your own way, and you fail to acknowledge out of intent or just disregard how that word is interpreted by the other party.
Okay,
Yeah.
Q2. I'm falling asleep. You're driving me insane into sleepiness. I don't know where you're taking this conversation.
Well, okay, I got you. So all I'm saying is that Jesus Christ. All I'm saying is that the that basically you know what? Scratch the intent part. Sure, we can get rid of that. All I'm saying is it was not a good idea to use the word child abuse in that way because other
Yes, it
people have different
was.
definitions.
Yes, it was. But I'm
But,
gonna fall. If I have to say it one more time, I'm honestly gonna fall asleep. I swear to God,
okay,
I'm
we
gonna
can
fall
indeed
asleep.
agree disagree, but I'm just saying that and then this is the other issue. I don't think you're aware of this, so I'll just say the issue too. She thinks, Sarah thinks you might harm her children, right? So if she thinks you might harm her children,
No. Sarah maybe wants to pretend that she thinks I might harm her
Wait,
child.
wait. So you're now saying she's pretending
Yes,
to feel how
it's
she
all
feels?
fake. That's why we're gonna get to this line when Ashley told her stop abusing Mr. Slave. She said twice, "Stop." Sarah refused.
Well,
She's
so now you're
refusing because because it's virtue signaling. She's not being honest. Obviously,
well. How
what?
do you?
She
So,
has no
how she not being honest? Tell me how
She
she's not
has
being
no
honest.
reason. What's the reason? You gotta have a reason
To have emotion?
no to talk however she spoke to me. Yeah, to even have emotion. Of course, you need reason for emotion. If you hate someone, you have to have a reason to hate him. You cannot just hate someone without a reason. If you love someone, you have to have a reason. They either have she must have nice boobs, nice butt, and a nice face. Otherwise, what's causing you to love her?
Well, okay. So I'll say that yeah. There's a definitely okay. So there's a reason, but is it always logical? Is it always completely based on
Of
reality, or
course,
sometimes is it
of course.
biased? Is it? It has to be biased.
No bias.
Yeah, yeah. Like for example, you could love some like you said, you could love somebody
No,
with big boobs, but that doesn't mean you
no.
love them as a person.
Right, but you have to have a reason. You cannot just love someone without a reason. There has to be a reason. Otherwise, you don't love them. You're just
Well,
pretending. Let's
you're not
pretend.
pretending if you don't know the reason you love somebody. You just don't know the reason you love somebody. You're not
No,
able to
you might
articulate
not
it.
be aware of the reason,
Right.
but there must be a reason. It's impossible to love someone without a reason. You
No,
have to be
I
attracted.
would agree. I would agree. But the issue is, not many people are self-aware of why they feel the way they feel.
I'm not saying she needs self-awareness.
I feel like you were saying that though. You were saying you
No,
have to have a
no.
reason.
She might be as like I'm saying they're all zombies. Zombies are not self-aware. She's
Hmm.
virtue signaling. She doesn't know that she's virtue signaling. She didn't look into she didn't search her feelings.
Hmm.
She's a zombie. She knows deep down that she's a terrible mom, and she knows that her children hate her, and she's trying to compensate for this in her own mind. She's trying to fix it in her own mind, but she's not aware of all this. She's not aware of all these steps. She just knows her kids hate her, and she doesn't know what to do about it, but she knows that she can feel better if she accuses me because then she's SJW, she's a social justice warrior, she cares about the children. In reality, she hates her children, and she hates herself for hating her children. So she needs to fix it. So she fixes it by pretending to hate me, by pretending that I'm this evil monster, but it's all pretend. Because ultimately she hates her children. That's the only explanation I have. Because you see, Ashley is normal. Ashley is having a normal conversation. Ashley is not being abusive. Ashley right away, as soon as I started, Ashley started asking, "Wait, what do you mean? Wait." You can't see the comments. I don't know why they got deleted, but she kept saying, "Wait, what? Wait, you're not enjoying this? Wait, I thought you enjoy it. Wait, I thought this is what you're all about."
She was being mean. Okay, I'll say this.
Where Sarah is, you're this terrible person. We'll go through Sarah's comments. They're right underneath this one. You'll see the difference. Sarah is a complete bully, and she doesn't change direction, and she uses her children in order to bully. And Ashley is very quickly changing direction and being super nice and super repentive and asking Sarah to stop being a bully
Okay.
twice, and Sarah
Mhm.
refuses.
All right.
Just
So I'll say,
Sarah
okay, go ahead.
doesn't even enter a conversation with her or with me. I also asked Sarah to stop again and again. Please stop. Please stop. Nothing. And look at the title of this video. The title of this video is a crazy attention seeker. So I'm this attention seeker who's begging to stop. Please stop bullying me.
Yes.
And so if I'm an attention seeker, so when an attention seeker comes to you and says, "Please stop bullying me," well, I'm not seeking attention. I'm doing it privately, basically. So why are you still coming after me?
Well, because she doesn't like you. That's why.
Why? Why does she not like me?
She doesn't need it. She doesn't need a valid reason. She just doesn't. She
Of
thinks you're gonna hurt
course you
people.
need. You cannot not like someone for no reason. That's not how the universe works. You have
No, that's
cause
how
and
most people work, Mr. Slade. Most
no,
people don't know why
no,
they like why like or
impossible.
dislike people.
No, no, impossible. Everything
That's
you
not how.
do, no,
Yeah.
everything you do must have a reason. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it. Certainly,
Wait, but
every
you said most
emotion.
people are self-aware.
No, but there is a reason you might not be aware. Most people, and even I am mostly not aware of my strategies. But when I sit down to analyze, I can figure out why I did this, why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can figure out why I did everything. But
Okay.
as it happens, you don't necessarily go through the analysis in real time. But
Oh
when
wait, I'm
you,
sorry. I'm sorry. I'll say this. I didn't mean that people don't need a reason. I didn't mean that literally. All I meant was people don't have to be aware of the reason and articulate that reason to hate
right,
you. There is a
I
reason.
agree.
Okay,
Yes, I
cool.
agree.
But yeah,
Anyway, let's go. Let's go
all I would
back.
say is that you
Mhm.
can't necessarily say that the only way she can hate you is that she hates her children. I think that's unfair. I think you don't have enough knowledge and enough of insight into her mind space to say that.
Look, you need to be able to explain to me why she's behaving. But we'll come back to Sarah. We're discussing Ashley's comments. We'll come back to Sarah's comments under, and then you can um uh represent her and explain why she behaved the way she behaved. Anyway,
Oh, did you change it? Oh, well, since there's not that many people here, did you change the title?
no.
Oh shit! I was in the private chat. It was a while ago. I said let's change the stream title for views. I was just I thought you
What
might
do you
change
want
it
to?
to
What do you
like
want to
playing
change?
with fire debunked or everybody hates me. I no longer tolerate it. Stuff like that. That's what I was saying to get some views. The biggest thing to get views, I would say, or to get people on, would probably be debunking playing with fire and his uh mistreatment of me. That would be a good one. Something like that, you know? Sleep. I'll just like monologue or like talk a little bit while you're doing that.
Yeah, it's done. Wait, the broadcast must be scheduled in the future and within 1 year. Please edit the start time.
Wait,
Oh, it
what?
doesn't let me change because. All right, let me change it. It doesn't let me change in the thing. Let me go to YouTube to change it.
All right.
Yeah, you can talk. You can say anything you
Okay.
want.
No, okay, yeah. All I was saying was I think the issue I'm seeing and the disconnect I'm seeing, in my opinion, is that you have a bunch of people mind reading you and trying to get in your head and figure out what you like, your sexuality, all that stuff, and they're wrong. A lot of times, yeah, basically just they're wrong. And I would say that as a whole, for society to benefit yourself and obviously other people, I think we should reserve mind readings or expressing our mind reads of people and their emotional states, how they treat their children, all that stuff, until we have basically we know we're right 100% and we can't be debunked. Basically, like mind reading and figuring out people's moves and intentions, it is exhausting, and I don't think anybody benefits really from trying to say, oh well, I know you were trying to do this with the way you said this, you like this, like all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I would say. But the reason I was going back and forth with you on the child abuse thing is I had more of a hunch and I was willing to talk with you. Like you were here, you were right here with me to talk with it about it. And I think that's a little bit. I think, like I said, I understand you got tired or whatever, but like the reason I was doing that was because I had a really strong hunch that you were aware of the effect of the child abuser term, and I think what happened was I have a little bit more. I have more evidence, but I would say that I think it would be better, or I would concede on the point that would to say that um, you flippantly use the child abuse term, um, and you might not have known you might not have known or cared, but we'd have to go through a whole dialogue tree to figure out if you were doing it to gain favor or make Sarah feel differently or strongly or to get her
Ashley.
to your side or persuasive or whatever. So yeah. That's all I would say with that stuff. I think yeah, yeah, that's what I'll say. That I think the thing with Ashley, I would say in the comments, she was more acquiescing to you and like saying, "Oh yeah," like kind of like not she was kind of just letting you set the tone or agreeing with your worldview, even if it was outside of what a lot of people might think. And to you, since it's your worldview and you're egoist, I would say that that feels like her being normal. But I would say that that's her acquiescing to your worldview, which is somewhat abnormal. That's all I would say. That's the distinction I would make. But yeah, I would say, but to be fair, me personally, I would say Ashley is above average, and I would, or just basically more empathetic. Well, I don't know why the fuck Ashley became empathetic. I'm not gonna say out of nowhere, but she seems like super cool now, super empathetic to a lot of ideas, and or I like her because she agrees with my ideas. Maybe I'm blinded by judgment with that, but yeah. All I would say overall is that uh all I say overall is that we I think I think the issue is to wrap up the whole playing with fire or Sarah Alex thing. The issue is um I won't use the term lolcap, but I'll say that they did not like what you were bringing to the stream, and I feel like you can still exist on the stream, gain attention, do all the things that
No, I'm not. Look, it's too. It's I have work. I have a job.
right.
I have to be fully engaged with my work. I need to be 100% relaxed. I need to be 100%. Um, my mind has to be free, and as long as I'm on Alex's channel, I'm not gonna be able to work.
Well,
My work has to suffer. It doesn't come for free. My involvement with playing with fire is not free. It comes at a cost. It's not just the time directly, it's the indirect time. It's all the time that after I have to sit and think or be worried, is the FBI going to knock on my door because who knows what nutcase is going to dox me and tell them that I'm who knows what. I don't
well,
need this.
I understand that, but I was talking about your capability, not your willingness.
What do you mean?
I was saying you're capable of being on stream. I wasn't saying you were willing to be on stream.
Right. I'm on. It doesn't matter how you slice it. It's
No, but
the
that's different though,
price.
right? Like to say that you're
It was my decision to unsubscribe and to disengage from Alex. That was my decision. Hold
no,
on, let me
I
see.
never took away your decision. All I said was I was more so I was talking about your capability or to be on stream, and I wasn't saying you were willing to be on stream. You said you said but the way you responded made it seem like I said you were willing to be on stream, and you said, "Oh, I'm not willing to be on stream. I have to do this, I have to do that." I was saying you are able to interact with that audience, and I was saying that you can if you change your approach. I was not talking about your willingness to do that because you're obviously not willing to do that. I was not saying you consented to being on that stream. anymore. I was saying you can if you do these things right, but you're not going
No.
to because you're not willing. That's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But again, I was commenting on the capability.
Right. I mean, my life is full. I have a girlfriend. I have an owner. I have work. I have gym. And plenty of other things. So I can't. My life is full, and I don't need it to be full of this of haters. I have so many haters on Alex's show. In the beginning, I think, had lovers and people that enjoyed me, but now it's the haters have reared their ugly head, and as is predicted by you can predict this. So this is the natural progression. Wait, it's not the black. Yeah, I already posted what he said. I'm waiting for him to come.
Gotcha.
So he says. So what he says, it's not the black hole singularity anymore. More, it seems now the subject of black holes is ones around us. Yeah, the black holes in our community. Yeah, that suck the air out of the room. Suck the sucky people. Yeah, I mean, and that's basically what I was saying in the post. Let's go back to the post. I think the post is actually quite telling. It's quite important. Let me just stop the YouTube. I don't want to waste my wind wind path. How do you say it? My bandwidth.
Bandwidth. Okay, got it.
All right, so let's go back to the post that I made. So I cannot talk sense to virtue signaling NPCs. This
wait, I'll say for that sentence. I believe you can. I just know that you're not willing to.
Right, I can talk sense, but it's not gonna get. It's not Look, it has to be economical. My investment has to be worthwhile. I cannot waste the rest of my life speaking to people who are NPCs. That's a waste of time. I have a life. I need to live my life. I need to enjoy life. I'm very old. I don't want to keep wasting my time. I have a chance to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my life. This deterioration into madness of society is inevitable, as is predicted by game theory, the prisoner's dilemma, and is probably the sad solution to the Fermi paradox. It might be. It might very well be. I mean, it is predicted by game theory. I mean, there are many other predictions that suggest that we're hopeless. Humanity is hopeless. So there you go. I honestly don't want to waste my time. I have a beautiful owner, a beautiful girlfriend. I love my gym and everyone I train with. I have an amazing job and am at the bleeding edge of my field. I am making nice progress with my own channel. I want to concentrate on the Fermi paradox, the woke mind virus, astrophysics, debunking, prominent science, educators, quote unquote, LOL, and other fun topics. All are welcome on my channel, always. Take care, everyone. LOL. Here are the screenshots of the conversation with Ashley. All right, so.
Wait, did I comment on this one?
Let's take a look. So here are the comments. So Ashley says, I'm so lost. All I know is that in the Rolo stream, Mr. Slave highly derailed it to speak about pedo. That, to be honest, and all the respect in the world, what's the need? Question mark. As you said, Mr. Slave, you have a lot going for you. Why be associated with negativity? I am not too informed, but it just seemed to me that you getting involved with the whole Hormaxers controversy, and for what it seemed continued on defending things that for many are unethical and inappropriate. You also did it on Ashley's stream where you derailed the whole thing and pretty much ruined the quality of it with the whole pedo convo where she made it clear she wanted to move on. Okay, I have no idea what she's talking about. So
No.
Natalia said,
Two things. One, Woody Johnson's backstage, and two, that was the last stream you were on with Ashley.
I don't know what she's talking about. We could break this down, but we're wasting time. Honestly, I'm not. I mean, for me, it's a complete waste of time. We can talk about black holes. We can talk about everything.
Oh, why don't you like this? Well, I feel like maybe, and this is only because of the words you said. I feel like whenever we're criticizing you or trying to give you some type of feedback into why you might do something wrong.
Wait, hold on. Let's let Woody Johnson on. Woody Johnson, do you have a camera? Can you identify yourself so we know you're not a booby flasher? Let's
Yeah,
wait.
bro. The backstage, it doesn't show your face to the live until we bring you on. So just show your face real quick and then turn the camera off once you're on live.
I cannot voice. I cannot hear you. We cannot do voice verify. I don't even know your voice. Have we ever spoken before?
Oh wait, we got some playing with fire, guys.
So he says, just got back from Alex when I found a cringe value stream. I don't know. I honestly don't care about what's going on with Alex. He can have all the value, all the volume he wants to give you. Woody, what are we gonna do? Ali, what's his name?
Alive inside.
Alive inside. You can hop on if you want.
He's gonna.
You can email me. Oh, Woody Johnson. Yeah. So we had. Okay. So only he would know. Fine. Okay. All right.
Can
What
you
are
hear
you
me okay?
rating? Yeah,
Yep.
you're good.
What's up, bros? Yeah, I don't show face. And I'm definitely not trolling. And like I said, the last thing I could think of was like, hey, do you want me to email you?
Yeah,
that
that's
was
good.
the last thing I could think of.
As soon
so.
as you said that, so I recognize. Only
Yeah,
you
no,
would know.
definitely. There was only one time, like I'm not internet famous, so there was only one time somebody pretended to like have my avatar and try to jump on a different stream, but I put it in the chat when I was listening that it's not me, so that only happened one time. But yeah. Good evening to everybody over here, the chat,
Yeah,
Good
salute to the
evening.
chat. Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Oh, last thing. I feel like
No, before that, no. We have it, Q2. We can always continue this endless discussion as much as you want. I mean, honestly, I'm falling asleep. I mean, I'm gonna start snoring. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not even. I don't know. I mean, I need you next to me when I'm insomniac. I need you to start talking about this utter nonsense. I mean, you're knocking me out completely. It's like, how do you do that?
Oh shit! All right.
All right, Woody Johnson. What do you got? What do you want to talk about?
Nothing really. I'm just chilling. I had a minute, to come on. I mean, to me, like I guess, just to begin, Slave. Your lifestyle does repulse me, but it's disgusting, and it's the total opposite of that. But so you kind of grew on me. I was like, okay, no, seriously. I really despised you in the beginning, but slowly I started listening to you. You had some good debates, and previously maybe like a couple days I was listening to older streams of yours, and you seem to be, when it comes to your personal lifestyle, you're just a mess, the epitome of decadence. But when you do talk about other subjects, you try to be as least biased, as much as logic you could use in an argument. Yes, you can be annoying, you can be very interruptive sometimes. The point of having guests on is to hear their point of view and kind of, go back and forth with that, right? But I mean, regardless, I mean that's just what it is. But we can talk about anything else but your, lifestyle. I mean, if it gets kind of too, I don't know, weird for me or whatever, then I'll let you know. Hey, Slave, I'm just gonna. It's not. This is not my type of topic, and I'll talk to you later or something.
No problem. I
Just
just
get
wanted to show you.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you, I guess, like what I think. I'm being honest, but in the end, I mean, yeah, I think you're just like everybody else. Everybody, you're just more honest about your point of views, and most people are kind of private about that.
Okay.
Oh, Woody, I like that you said that. I think the fact that people call Mr. Slave an attention seeker is meaningless because we're all on the internet and we're all on panels
Right,
to seek attention. It makes no sense
right.
to single somebody out for that.
Yeah, in a way, it is kind of validation.
Right.
You can say, "Oh, I don't need a," like, yeah, regardless of how small or big it is, it is validation, and it is also, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to state that, oh, there's none of that, but it's also, having fun and kind of discussing maybe if something good comes along, kind of like that. That's how I see it too. I never take anything online seriously. All this doesn't really matter, you
Oh,
know.
for sure.
All right. Here, I just wanted to show you, Woody. This is a website that I'm building for my owner. Tell, I wonder if there's anything you find here that you disagree with. Honestly, let me see. So, she says this is everything here I wrote. She doesn't. She wants me to take this site down, but this is everything that I spoke to her about. So there's complete agreement between me and her. Anyway, this is definitely my philosophy. So, welcome to my femdom philosophy. Femdom, by the way, means feminine dominance. So I am Mistress Lily. If you're reading these lines, and maybe you could become my little submissive boy, whatever. If this website, in this website, I will put a. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's go to the first one: the proper slave mentality. Beautiful Mistress Lily will now teach you the proper mindset of a good slave. In order to be a good slave, you need to become a great man. You see, Mistress Lily has no use for actual useless pets. In her eyes, you will always be a useless, pitiful pet slave. But in reality, as far as the rest of the world is concerned, you must become a true leader, a leader of men, a protector, a man that everyone always looks up to. Such a man, when he walks into a room, makes everyone happier. Everyone smiles at his presence. Everyone loves him. This must be you. Otherwise, Mistress Lily has no use for you. Do you understand? To Mistress Lily, you will always be, I guess, a little confused baby, a cute little puppy. This is because how beautiful Mistress Lily is. But your bank account, your finances, tell a completely different story. You are here in order to become the greatest person you could ever imagine becoming. And Mrs. Lily will not ever allow you to be any little bit less than that, or she will absolutely remove you from her magical life. That's just the introduction. Is there anything here you disagree with?
Everything.
Really? Wait a
Yes.
minute.
Sleep. This is your thing. This is despicable to me. So I don't know what to tell you. You're literally slaving away your labor and right. I don't know if this should be your blog. This shouldn't be a site for Mistress Lily or whoever.
No, I spoke to her about it because she needs to like every client that she goes through, they have all these problems. They have addictions. They don't just become addicted to her. They are sex addicts. Addicts or addicts? I guess addicts.
Yeah.
Addict. They're sex. I mean, so here we have a page. Femdom is not your addiction, because she's actually in your life to fix that. Here's the page. Go to the gym. You have to be Superman. No fap. No more porn. Well, chastity, I guess you do disagree with. Remote anal vibrator, you probably disagree with. I can understand that. Zap collar, you probably disagree with. I can understand that. Reverse Uber, checking your phone. Sending good morning and good night. So you probably don't send your girlfriends good morning and good night every day.
I have a girlfriend, and this is, I guess, been more than, few months now. So yeah, that's not a thing. I maybe, when I had a date planned, and I would talk about that. It's like I kind of send good mornings to everybody if I'm, I guess, talking to them regarding anything. So it's like, hey, this is the schedule for today. This is where we're going. That's all I do with a good morning text.
Wait, Q2, are you making noise in the background? Wait, let me mute Q2. Okay, he's muted. Anyway, okay. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to talk about, like black holes or the
So
wolf mind?
it's fascinating. I guess I kind of know. I have a general knowledge of the black holes, depending on how you want to take the stream. Because, like I said, there's not really a topic on me that I'm thinking. Okay, this is what we should discuss. So I have a general knowledge of what black holes are. Like I said, there's a bunch of black holes, in our surroundings too, where we gotta get away from because they just suck the life out of you. They're so bad that they not only do they suck the glow, the light out of you, they suck your life out. So staying away from that is definitely a doctor's recommended order. And another thing is, I understand that there's a spaghettification process if a human enters. Light cannot escape a black hole. There's a has the biggest black hole as we would know is in the middle of our galaxy, right? Which is in the middle of every other galaxy, has the observable reality that we know or we see or we understand, right? And that's
Mhm.
really about it.
Right. But the question is, so yeah, I mean, so one of the questions that astrophysicists deal with is this:
Oh,
they
Mr.
call
Slave,
it.
I gotta head out.
All right, Q2. Thanks for
Good
being.
night, Kudu.
No.
All right, bye. So one of the problems that astrophysicists, and actually it's everyone. It was actually, I think, Einstein originally also thought about it.
Einstein.
Einstein. Einstein. Yeah, I don't think his name was Einstein. I think it was Einstein. Let me look it up 1 second. I think his name was Einstein, but who knows?
Einstein Silverstein, or Einstein Goldberg, or Einstein Mark Zuckerberger.
I mean, it's with an S. There is no H. Oh, there it is. Oh, they say,
Einstein.
but we need to see in German.
Einstein.
Einstein.
Ah, it's Einstein. I told you.
Close enough.
That was my intuition. I never looked it up.
Yep. Close
Einstein.
enough. Einstein.
Einstein.
Einstein. Yeah, I try to say it correctly. Anyway, so Einstein, he tried to figure it out too. So there is a problem called the black hole singularity, which is, they claim, everyone claims, this is just a claim, and because of
Yep.
this claim, there is a problem. So they claim that the entire mass of the black hole dwells inside the center, the epicenter, the center of the center of the center of the black hole, this one tiny spot. That's where all the mass of the black hole is. This is what everybody knows.
Mhm.
Did you ever hear about this?
Maybe this is a deeper scientific subject, but I did not hear about that on my phase when I was going through astronomy or physics. There was a phase where I went through like all of comedy, all of like red pill, all of biology, kind of things like that. That's where I would gather up knowledge, because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't have sources to cite, but I can talk about this is what I heard and observed and see. So that is, I guess, that would be more of your field, so I, that's new to me, but it's an observation, I guess, maybe a scientific observation, but nobody's there to observe this happening. There's not experiment, in a box that we can conduct on a black hole. So I guess that would be the leading authority on this, right?
Right. I think it's in my Instagram. I think I sent it to myself in my Instagram. Let me go pick it up. That I have a short of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil touched the grass, Tyson.
Exactly. That's exactly his name, but I don't know where I put it. Maybe.
Yeah, no problem. You could talk about this. I'm not gonna be the guy asking like every 2 seconds to cite your resources. I'll take your word for it.
No. I want you to hear it. I was like on a podcast. Let me look it up in. I guess on YouTube. So let's just look up.
Well, can you also, while you're looking that up, can you also define what is singularity, or what type of singularity are they talking about when it comes to matters as such as black holes?
Yes, I can. So singularity is just a term. It's just a placeholder. It just means we don't understand. When mathematicians they say singularity, let's look up singularity definition. So singularity, the state, fact, quality, or condition of being singular. That's not it. A point at which a function takes an infinite value, especially in spacetime when matter is infinitely dense as the center of a black hole. That's the definition.
Okay.
But he explains it kind of well, but I don't see it in the. I don't think YouTube allows you to search shorts inside a black hole.
I think shorts just appear as other videos. Kind of, that's how it works. If it's a subject or if it's the title of the short, that's how it would appear amongst other videos.
Oh, you know what? This was in the original video, so we can watch my original video. Right.
Do I sound Mexican? Everybody thinks that I'm Mexican.
So what are you?
I do not want to disclose that.
That's okay. So here is the video, but I never bothered to write down the link to the video, so I don't even know how to find it. I don't even know the title.
Well,
But
what's your perspective on this?
No, we can just let's just listen to it so we can discuss it.
Okay.
That was interesting.
No, so that's a limit. Well, zero black hole now is successful as we all.
So I'll move to the next one and then back.
We all know that as brilliant as Einstein was, and as successful as his general theory of relativity has been, it has limits. And one limit is the center of a black hole, and another limit is the very birth of the universe itself, the Big Bang. Now, where does Einstein take us? You go into the center of a black hole, you get black holes from Einstein. Center of black hole is a singularity. All the theories say the matter occupies zero volume, thereby having infinite density. And that's kind of weird. But no, you can't have infinite. No. That's a limit of Einstein's theory. That's where it breaks down. So in Einstein's equations, we're dividing by zero at the singularity. We all know.
All right. What do you think about that?
It breaks it down furthermore. I guess when you explain the definition of it, I kind of got the gist of the whole idea that what it was, But I mean, like I said, this is the authority that we could go off of, because you and I are not conducting experiments or observing this, in any way, shape, or form. So what else could I add to this?
How does he know that there is a singularity at the very center of the black hole?
So this is all just observable reality, and maybe they are able to look up or calculate this, right? Just
No,
like they calculated. Okay, so
no.
what's the process?
There is no process. This is complete conjecture. And this
Okay.
conjecture causes a paradox. And because of this paradox, they're spending trillions of dollars, or who knows what
Right.
amounts, including Einstein. Einstein was trying to figure out what goes on in the center of the black hole. Because of this, because it breaks down, his general relativity breaks down because there's zero volume, so infinite density. So Einstein was going cuckoo, but and everybody's going cuckoo, and they have to come up with all these theories, but this is all based on nothing but conjecture, just an assumption that the entire mass of the black hole is for some reason at the pinpoint center of a black hole. Why would you say that? I don't know. That's what they
Right.
say, but they have no reason to say this.
Well, I mean, we could take their word for it, or generally, I would think that uh, it, even if it is, I mean, does it really matter? Because we
Yes.
aren't at the stage. Well, no, but we aren't at the stage of observing this in a lab,
You can
right?
never
Or
observe it. You can never
I mean,
observe.
maybe at some
No,
point we can.
no, impossible. A black hole is black because no information leaks from a black hole. That's why it's black.
Well, you
No,
have to have an environment. You have to have a controlled environment that's so big that
no,
it's
no,
unconceivable right now to us.
no. You can never find out what goes inside. You can never experiment. You can never observe the internals of a black hole from outside. Impossible.
So think of it like this, Slave. Do you understand? You know what the tardy bear is, right? That's like
A
one of its names.
tardy bear?
Yeah.
A teddy bear or a
No, a
teddy
tardy
bear?
bear. That's
A
that's like one of
tardy
the
bear?
names. It's
Never
it's
heard of
that
it.
it's I guess they consider it an animal. It's that it's the most durable, most rugged I guess
Oh, a
species.
tardigrade.
Tardigrade. Okay.
A
Yeah, there you
a
go.
tardigrade.
Yeah,
A
so this is one of the
tardigrade.
most rugged, one of the, I guess, whatever eugenics took place for that, but that is one of the toughest being that they understand. That is, somewhat understandable. So that bear does not conceive, or might not never find out our reality, or that we're God, right? So same way, same
Wait, I
way.
missed a sentence. I sneezed. That bear never conceives of our reality?
Yes, it can never conceive, it can never understand our reality, right? We can observe it, but it cannot observe us. There's probably never going to be a bear. I mean, that species itself, there's not gonna be, there may be one day, maybe, right? If we develop a technology enough to grow it to I don't know, human being size, or as a regular animal, maybe, right? But until then, it would never understand or see our reality, or our observations, right? It's just going to live in its environment, so just as that, maybe one day we would be able to observe furthermore. But if you can put yourself in that, I think that's an animal, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's an animal. So maybe we could put ourselves, in this animal's in this animal's shoes, and maybe try to understand this, that there's some things that we may or may not be able to ever find out. Same thing with a black hole. I heard that it could also be a portal. Maybe go into a different universe, or a different. Same thing as the wormholes, right? This is as science goes. They have talked about that there's wormholes, on a microscopic, maybe smaller than an atom level, right? That appears. There's neutrons that would disappear from one area and appear in another area, right? And so these particles in some subatomic levels, they have a different physics. They have a different, I guess, law of nature. Nature, I guess. Hopefully, I'm trying to come as clear as possible, because we know how space has whenever we went up there, right? And there could be beings that understand, black holes or what they are. We just haven't got to that level yet, or maybe we would, or maybe we never would be able to. So that's where I'm coming from on observing the black hole, of what it does. If us or another being gets on a level of understanding or putting it in an experiment or experimenting with it, only they could understand. We could only observe as of now what it could be.
Right. But the whole point of the theory of the black hole says that you can never observe the internals of a black hole. A black hole has something called an event horizon, and we can never look past the event horizon because from the event horizon, no information leaks. Basically, no energy can leak from the black hole into our universe.
Mhm. So
Because
imagine if we had communication powers. Imagine if we ever get to the level, humanity, if ever they reach the level of having infinite communication from anywhere in the universe, right? If we're able to trace that or track that.
what does that mean?
So, you know how you and I are talking? We might be in the
Yes.
different parts of the world, but we are able to
Yes.
communicate directly, right? You can hear my voice probably within a nanosecond or maybe less than a second. So we can communicate. If imagine communication on a level that we can be maybe in a different part of the galaxy, or maybe we could be in a different part of the
No.
universe.
So we know that there is a speed limit in the universe. That's the speed of light. And that's the problem with the black hole.
Right.
The black hole, the gravity is so strong that light cannot escape.
Okay, so tell me this. Uh,
Hmm.
it's all obviously theoretical. There was a documentary that talked about wormholes, right? That it bends space, that we might be able to get from one point to another, we way faster than imagined, even at a speed of light, right? So, you understand. I guess to an extent, you understand what wormholes are. I do as much as I know. They bend space and time, and we might be able to create, a furthest travel with that. So, if that is
No, no,
possible,
no. Black wormholes connect. Wormhole like a black hole connects to a white hole by general relativity.
right? As
So
we know, yeah. But then again, where's
so
have they
every
discovered a white hole yet?
so one theory is that a white hole is just a big bang. So the big bang is the we are on the other side of a black hole. We're
Right,
on
but
the
okay, so
inside.
right. Think about this. So we might be inside of this, or we might go back in time, or we might end up going to a different universe, or a different part of the universe.
How? What are you talking about? Different universe. How
So
would you
so
go
how
into
can
a
they so
different
how can
universe?
they so- okay so how can they say that a white hole leads to
No,
the Big Bang?
general relativity predicts an Einstein-Rosen bridge. An Einstein-Rosen bridge is I never looked into the math. I can just tell you what Einstein said, his conclusion from his studies, and I guess everybody agrees. So a black hole internally has a wormhole that connects to a white hole. A white hole is a reverse black hole. The only reverse black hole we know in the history of the universe is the Big Bang. So it would appear to
Okay.
be what?
No, I said okay. So basically, according to them, we'll go back in time.
No,
We'll end up in the beginning of the
no,
universe.
no one goes back in time. That never happened. Physics cannot. We cannot.
Right.
I mean, according to Einstein's special relativity, time and space are are the same dimension basically. So we exist, according to Einstein, we exist throughout time and space simultaneously, and our feeling that time goes by is just an illusion. Really, we're four dimensionals. We exist. You exist
But
currently
you
as.
but slave, right?
Mhm.
You said you were as human beings were fourth dimensional.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
Einstein's special relativity. Yeah.
Right. So what's in the first or second dimension? What do you know of anything that would exist in a first or second
I mean,
dimension?
the first three dimensions are just space, right and left, forward, backwards, up and down, and then the fourth dimension is time.
So would there ever be a possibility of higher beings that are in different dimensions than us?
As far as we know, there's no more dimensions.
Right,
Just
but there could be,
four.
right? Because we are all able
We
to
we don't
observe.
know. We don't
Right, but
know.
we don't know. I agree. Yes, I agree with that. But moving on from that, that there could be a possibility of beings that are in a higher dimension, right? And this I guess I
But
don't know how
that's
much of a
that you don't need. Look, we have known physics. We can. There's enough to talk about known physics before you jump to unknown speculative physics.
right, but I'm not
What?
a physicist, nor are you. We can only talk about what people, what we have learned from science, right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to think out of the box because I'm not a physicist, nor am I a STEM major or a PhD in multiple, scientific fields. So I can only talk about my observable reality, same as you, right? We can only talk about what we learned, what we've seen, right? So that's why I'm trying to think out of the box in a way that there's a possibility of higher beings that would be able to understand this, or maybe have understand
Why
this.
why do you need to go to these beings? Why do you need to discuss unknown physics? You have plenty of
Because
known. Hmm.
right, because this is our conceivable reality, and
But we
and
have. What do you mean conceivable? We have a reality. It's complicated enough.
right,
Reality is so complicated that we have no idea how quantum physics works. We have no idea how black hole work. We have no idea how the Big Bang started. We have no idea what dark matter is. We have no idea what dark energy is. We basically don't know anything. There's so much unknown. Why do you need to speculate?
well, because one, that it doesn't lead to anything. You can only wait on the authorities to maybe discover something. This could also be a loophole to a lot of waste of money, because they haven't looked into our seas as much as they have looked into space, right? They're not trying to discover or opening ways
We
to,
can
let's
we
say,
can
explore
discuss
Antarctica, right?
we can discuss the I would say the fact that science today has been captured by government. That basically destroyed science. We don't
Right.
have we basically don't have scientists today. We
And
just
the
have
public's
government.
virtue signaling.
And the what? Virtue
Public's
signaling?
virtue signaling public, what the mass public would deem as acceptable or not. This has also plateaued science, because they're not able to study, or they won't, or maybe they did, but they're not able to disclose this to wider public because it won't be acceptable.
No, I don't think there's a conspiracy. There's too many leaks in every conspiracy. So I don't think there was a successful
I'm not talking about
conspiracy.
conspiracy. For example, okay, in 2008, I was listening to Smash TV or MGTOW TV. He came upon information that cloning is there's a part of cloning in our meats now, right? So and he can recite these resources if you ever need them, because I like I
Why?
said.
But why do I need to discuss speculation when I have enough information to
No, here's a
go
source for
on?
that. That they passed laws or
So
something
what?
similar,
Why do we need to talk about these things? I
because we were
mean,
talking
it's
about
not.
forbidden science.
What is forbidden? What cloning? Cloning is boring.
Have
Cloning
you
is
ever
the
heard of the Have you ever heard of the book, or maybe you want to look up? I think there was this book called Bowling Alone.
yeah. I
Yeah,
know
and
it.
also the scientist that you did you read that book or no?
No, but that's the book that
Okay,
got me started in
right.
economics.
And then I think the writer of that book, he was a intellectual in his field, and he was disgraced, and I think he lost his, I don't know, his peace prize, or whatever he
Wait, let me
suffered.
let me ask you. Last time I think you brought up the thing with the birth rate, the population growth. Was that
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
All right, so we could discuss that. I mean,
yeah. Whatever you want to discuss, that's
so I
fine.
used
Because
to I used to believe that there's too many people on Earth. So I used to
Yeah,
believe
me
in,
too.
right. So I used to study demographics like crazy,
So
and
you
then
would
I
know
realized
way more about this than Ashley, as demonstrated on her stream that she was wrong by you. So just gotta point that out.
it doesn't matter. The point is that I studied demographics so much that I studied Malthus' original paper. Malthus is considered to be the father of modern demographics, the theory, the study of demographics of populations. Anyway, so I used to be a Malthusian, but today I'm an objectivist, so I know that it doesn't matter the size of a population. Earth could have trillions of people living happily on this planet and then conquering the rest of the universe if you just have
Wait,
free
that's
market.
a wait. That's
Hmm.
a So has you found out from your research that this Earth is able to sustain, trillions of people?
As far as I know, Earth could sustain quadrillions of people, not just trillion.
Wow.
After quadrillions, you have trillions, you have quadrillions, then quintillions, then sextillions, then septillions, then eightillions, nintillion, decatillions. I think Earth can sustain quintillions easily. I think what's his name did the calculation. Isaac Arthur did the calculation on
Wow.
his channel. Yeah, if you just have very tall skyscrapers, everybody could have a very large apartment, everybody could have very nice life. And then, you go to outer space and you build space habitats and you conquer the rest of the universe.
I
The
honestly don't really want that to happen, honestly, because I don't know want to live in China. I mean, people get away from environments like that. So having so many more people, I mean, in the end, I think we'll just dissolve to 5 days
no, but
delay.
that's not the point. The point is that I used to believe that
Hmm.
population growth is very dangerous. So I became a Malthusian. Malthusian is someone who believes that it's very dangerous to have population growth, that it would lead to wars and famines. But then I started studying economics, and as I studied economics, I started understanding free markets, and then I realized that it doesn't matter. You can have one person on Earth or a trillion people on Earth. It doesn't matter how many people you have on Earth. It matters how free are the markets. How free are they to share and to trade and to have
I agree
fact.
with you. No, I agree. I agree with you on this, but I don't agree on the so much overpopulation that as you just pointed out. But I do
No,
agree that the
but you're worried about population decline?
no, I'm not. It's just it was okay. So it's an interesting topic, right? At that time it was like, okay, what does a female think, our modern female, maybe a little bit more intelligent than your very modern basic females in the West, and then what would the like Crucible, I do like Crucible, and these Crucible and his gang or his clan over there, keeps tabs on all the research, right? Besides the point of, I know you hate Crumble, but they have a
No, I
very
don't hate
interesting channel,
Crumble. I don't
right? I mean,
hate him.
dislike. Let's say dislike,
No, I don't
right?
dislike at all. No, I
Okay.
think he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's okay.
He's funny. He's good at what he does,
Look.
and he brings on people.
Everybody has pros and cons. There's no one is perfect.
Agreed. Yes. One more thing about that. I think as long as somebody's net positive, I think that's other aside from that, right? If it's a net negative, then I really don't like to listen to them. But if it's a net positive overall, then I'm like, okay, whatever. Uh,
Exactly.
I agree with your point that not everybody's going to be perfect. Not everybody's going to align with your point of views 100%. So let people just live and do whatever, right? As long as they're a net
Exactly.
positive, I think you can be friends if you don't get into your
Exactly.
fifis. Okay,
Exactly.
besides the point. So the demographics question was because, okay, so we, you, I, most of our viewers, we live in a Western so we live in a Western civilized in countries, right? Right, like that's the general demographics of our viewers. So I know the third world. I've seen the third world. I'm very much aware of what things are. So since we have the luxury of this, of this reality, uh, so has the ideology in the West goes, the declining birth rates would, has my conclusion, has a lot of other people's conclusion, the content that I consume, that it would lead to deterioration of the living standards that we enjoy these days. So, everyone in the world, they have declining birth rates. Everybody in the world, but West is leading with that. And I forgot who mentioned this, but West is below replacement rate. Now,
What do you mean, West? We actually went through this last time after you left. We can go through it again.
okay, so what was the conclusion? What did you find in your research at that time?
I mean, let me just go through it. It's not. I mean, Google has all these graphs, so you can see it right away. So you tell me. So let me first share this tab. So let's see. U.S. Yeah, go on.
Right, I was gonna say I got like 5-7 minutes, but I would like you to get to, I guess, your conclusion at that time. What did you see in that?
I think this is as good as any. You see, this is not population decline. This is population growth. It's very fast population growth. I think we're one of the fastest growing populations on Earth. USA is growing very fast, as you
So
can
the
see.
general trend was before Conan 19, right? The general trend was that it's on a slope and people really aren't getting married or having kids.
What do you mean? It's constant. It's constant growth.
From what year to what year is that? Is that right there, the
This
graph
is
showing?
from basically 1900 to 2020.
I don't. 1900
It actually used
2020.
to grow slower. Let me
So this
do
is
the
American
actual.
demographics, right?
Yes. Here, let's do the growth. So this is the growth since 1970. The population growth of the United States, well, since 1970 has gone a little bit down. The growth has gone down, and the growth at the end of 2020 is very close to zero.
Okay.
So that means that the previous graph that we saw, the slope, we cannot see it, but the slope here they're saying is zero. It's actually sloping down, even though we can barely see because it's from 1970. Wait a minute, it's from here. How could you say that it's sloping down from here? Something is wrong. This doesn't make any sense. Annual change is 0.1%. 0.1% annual change 2021. What does that mean? US population growth. This is, I don't understand what this graph is saying. But this is India. The growth of India is slowing down. The growth of Canada.
Everybody in the world. There's a channel that is the one of the topics is geopop. It's called Pinoid News. It's a total redneck, but I guess very highly intellectually muscled, as you would say. So him and who's the other name? Peter Zahan. They talk about this stuff. And Peter Zahan, I mean, he's definitely somebody to listen to. But you can do your own research, but that's what they seem to claim, and everybody could
Okay.
research that and look that up.
Okay, let me do something that I used to do a lot in the days that I was studying demographics. So, there's actually a fantastic, if you can see it on your phone, there's a fantastic population simulator that you can play with. I think once you play with this, you'll see that it's utter nonsense.
Somebody suggested that look up the numbers of boat Mexican 45. look up the numbers of birth rate per woman, and any number below 2 is below replacement rate. Yeah, definitely, because it's one man and one woman. So I mean
Here,
that definitely
before
makes sense.
before that. Here, look at this. Let's start the simulation. And so the simulation is running. The year is here's the year 2029, 2030. This is the world population. It's
Hmm.
8 billion. This is according to the UN. This is the UN world population simulation. Let's speed it up to twice whatever. So you're telling me that there is a problem. The year is now okay. The year is 2100 and the earth population is 10 billion people. Now it's beginning to shrink. The year is almost 2200. We're back to 7 billion people. So
So okay, so there was I guess we can
here
take that with a grain of salt.
here's the curve of the earth population dropping, but I mean I don't know, it's based on 1.84. I don't know if you can see my mouse. It's based on 1.84 children per woman, so it's under replacement. So if the world continues with under replacement, then in the year 2500 there's still 3 billion people on earth. This is the world. We can do
Well, okay, there was
mhm,
also there. Let's say there's a chink in the armor, right?
mhm.
Uh, I guess that's how the term is used. There was also I don't know if it was UN, but they disclosed that one of the countries in Africa that their population was reported to be I don't know, maybe 4 or 8 million, but now all of a sudden they discovered that their population was double the size, right? No one is looking at that. So again, I haven't researched into, according to the population, let's say by every year or what's reported,
Hold on,
but
hold on. Let's run the simulation. This is the UN simulation of the USA. It's now 350 million people. 370. The year is 2050. 380 million. 390. And you can see the population is still growing. And then
Mhm.
it says the UN projection ends at 2100. If you want to continue free simulation, you can choose the fertility and mortality levels yourself. So this is at this point it's whatever. I'll explain after what it means. Okay, so now we're continuing the simulation, and the population is shrinking. In the year 21 or 2200, we're reaching, I guess, 250 million people, which is basically what we were like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Anyway, even at 1.7 children per woman, this is well below replacement. Replacement is 2.0, well below replacement. In the year 2300, there's still 100 million people living in the United States. It's not like there's not enough people. Like, people make it sound like we're going extinct.
no, we're not going extinct. Only I don't even know how to describe this. I guess
Here, let's
because
do Japan.
you have a graph and I don't.
I have a simulator. This is a simulation of the world population. It's a very good simulator. You should learn to play with it. Let's run the simulation of Japan. People say Japan is running out of people. Japan has 123 million people. That's half, basically a third of the United States population is in the tiny island of Japan. Japan is super populated. 123 million people. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so they have a population, they have 1.3 children per wife, per mom, per woman. All right, in the year 2050, there's 100 million. Yeah, totally going extinct. In the year 2100, 70 million people.
Can you look up if they have a diagram for China?
I did China just before.
Wait, do the China again? Maybe I missed it.
I think I did China just before, didn't
No,
I?
I don't think you did China yet.
Yeah, UN simulation. So the difference between UN simulation and free simulation is UN simulation, it varies the life expectancy and the number, the sex ratio as the year progresses because the UN has predictions how these numbers are going to change. Free simulation means it stops modifying these numbers and it's assuming the numbers remain the same. The life expectancy, number of children, sex ratio will remain the same. Sex ratio is important because the more women you have, the more children you have. Because it's 2 children per woman. All right. All right. So let's run the simulation of China. So China right now is 1.4 billion people. At 1.2 children per woman. So in the year 2050, 2060, it's still over a billion. Yeah, totally going extinct. Totally going extinct. Free simulation.
It's not about going extinct, Mr.
So
Slave.
what
It's
is it? So
about
what is it about?
so there was two demonstration, right? And we clearly know the numbers of Japan and China. China is dying as right in front of our eyes
What do you mean
because
dying? In the
they
year
reported
2200, there's still 200 million Chinese.
okay, so this okay, so furthermore there's a sustainability of the system, right? That the system that they have placed right
You don't
now.
need so many people to sustain the
Well,
system.
so,
That's ridiculous. It's
so
certainly not in the year 2300. If robots have not completely replaced us in all walks of life, then we have failed as a society. So humans at this point are just whoever is left at this point is just having a good time. There's no work. No work. In the year 2400, there's no work for humans, obviously. If you think there's work for humans, I don't know how you
so
feel.
I don't so I guess that is a possibility, but I don't know how they would find enough metal to structure this or
What do you
enough
mean?
enough
What do you mean enough
metal.
metal?
You need enough material, right?
For
To
what?
have a robotic force that a
You don't have
workforce.
to have metals. Robots don't have. Robots can be made out of plastic. Why do you need a car? A lot of the car is made out of plastic, just and fiberglass and all different composites. You don't have to have metals.
That's unreliable.
What are you
Do you
talking
think we're
about?
really gonna have we're
What do
going
you
to
wait?
have
What do you mean? What's
plastic
on?
robots?
I mean, steel robots are very heavy. Why would you want steel? What's wrong with
So why
fiberglass
would you
or
want what? Well, I mean, okay.
carbon fiber?
No, you're right on this. You're right on this. I guess if there is enough
A
resources or
steel robot, you know how much that's gonna weigh? Why would you want that?
it's not about the weight, it's about material, and you're right on the material that
Why would you want to make it out of steel? It's like building a car out of steel, but it's not a tank. In the year
you're right on this.
33,000, yeah, the Chinese population has gone extinct because by definition, under 10,000 is extinction. You cannot maintain a population under 10,000. Yeah, in the year 3,000. Yeah, I'm going to worry about that, sure.
Well, okay, so China has large declining numbers.
So what?
Because
Who cares?
they're elderly, because their elderly population it has outnumbered the younger generations, right? Same thing with
It's
Japan.
insignificant. It's basically insignificant. That's what the ratio. That's what this number means. Let me do the
I
UN
think
simulation.
it is significant. Because you do need either you're going to have to devolve to a smaller system,
No,
or
no, that's
well,
not true. You don't have enough jobs. That's the main problem. The main problem is that there are not enough jobs. That's the main problem. To tell me
we
that
can't
there's
just create jobs out of thin air.
right. That's the main problem. I mean, if your economy is not free, you don't have enough jobs, so you might as well not have
I
so
agree
many.
with that, but it's never going to, because there's always going to be influencers who want to bend the free market, and they will.
Look, I don't know what stance you're taking, but if you don't
I'm
have
not
a
taking
free
any stance. I'm talking about the free market itself.
so if you don't have a free market, then you don't have enough jobs. Then you might as well not have so many kids, because you're not going to have jobs for the kids.
Right, because of human nature, this will take into effect almost always.
What? I don't understand.
The manipulation of a free market, and there's
Look,
going to be
I'm not.
monopolies.
Look, as long as you don't have a free market, like in China. In China, there's no free market. The way it's going on right now, Xi Jinping shut down China, still hasn't opened, keeps talking about opening, but still hasn't opened. So no one has a job in China right now. So what's the point of having kids?
I mean, yeah, I agree with that statement. It's pretty plain and simple.
Yes.
Well, all right, slave. I gotta return some videotapes. So have a good night. Thanks for having me on. It was a good discussion.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah, have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye. All right. If anybody else wants to join, you is welcome. Let me see any comments. So, media hits. Aren't there mass riots in China because of the shutdowns? I don't think so. I think because of the mass riots, Xi Jinping shut down China. I think it's the reverse. You have the reverse cause and effect. People were demonstrating because of the banks and because of this and because of that. So Xi Jinping said, okay, enough freedom for one day. Everybody goes back home. We have COVID. So he obviously invented COVID in order to stop all the demonstrations. And now he's keeping everybody locked inside their homes. Maybe he started letting them go a little bit, but I don't think China has opened up. They keep saying every day. I keep hearing TFM. I listen to TFM as my source of information for economics. I'd rather shoot myself, but that's the way it is. So he says every day, "Oh, China's opening up. China's opening up right away. Hold on, 1 second. China's opening up." Yeah, I'm hearing this national anthem for the past 6 months that China is opening up. China has not opened up. Let me check. Has China opened up? Has China opened up yet? Effective January 8th, 2020, there is no longer a requirement quarantine for international arrivals entering PRC. I don't know what is PRC. People's Republic of China. Note that regulations in the Republic can change quickly, so please review the PRC specific travel advisory when planning travel. That's planning travel, but has China opened up its factories? Opened up its factories. Rebooting manufacturing, however, opened is not well defined, and according to a survey by American Chambers Commerce in Shanghai, 70% of factories do not have enough. Okay, how long are factories closed for Chinese New Year? I don't care. Has China opened up its factories since COVID lockdowns? Why are companies moving manufacturing out of China? Yeah, so everything is moving out of China, so there's no need for children if everybody's moving. If all the factories are moving away. Manufacturers pulling out of China. China, factory of the world, is losing more of its manufacturing and export dominance. Latest data shows. The latest data in CNBC's supply chain heat map shows China. Oh, this is October 22. All right. Yeah, China. I don't think it's opening up. But companies is manufacturing coming back. Good news. Let me see. COVID hit. Chinese factories eye gradual recovery after lunar. This is from January. This is Reuters. So COVID hit Chinese factories eye gradual recovery after Lunar New Year break. Okay. So a worker works on a production. All right. Shenzhen, China, January 19th. Christian Gasner, whose furniture components factory in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen, had a dismal end of 22 amid COVID outbreaks is finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel. About 2 months ago, many workers quit to avoid potential lockdowns ahead of lunar. Then in December, after pandemic controls came off, almost all who remained fell ill, disrupting production. That's weird. Having recovered, they are now in hometowns with their families for the holiday. Other owners and managers are similarly eager to get on with what they expect will be a gradual recovery for the Chinese factory sector, which makes almost a third of the world's. The government's abrupt abandonment of movement restrictions in December was followed by immense disruption from illness. Economically, the country should finally leave behind a pandemic that suppressed domestic demand. There is a theory that China was trying to have as many people as possible get COVID in a short time, limping back to normal. These factories had to scramble last month when up to a third of their workers were down with COVID at the same time. Some of the office staff filled in on assembly lines. Many workers with mild symptoms offered to carry on, asking to defer the week of sick leave they were entitled to for later in case they needed. It was quite stressful. It's difficult to tell from Reuters. This is, I would expect to see a graph or something. Anyway, China doesn't seem to be opening up, by the way. I don't think it is. Anyway, so aren't there mass riots? Yeah, I think it's the reverse. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost 12, so I've been here for almost 3 hours. I think it's good as time as any to shut down this discussion. Shut it down. You need silver for those cameras. Fine. I mean, so by the way, there's going to be, there's supposed to be plenty of resources on Earth. And in the West, we basically are not allowed to mine for resources. So I think, anyway, there's plenty. We don't need, everything is okay. How about you? Anyway, so both Mexican 45 in the graph, you don't want the top to be too much wider than the base. Fine. Even at 1.5, even at 1.2. All right. So let's take China. This is 2023. This is at 1.19, the ratio of ages. It's pretty homogeneous. You just have this bump over here. Still, it doesn't say the ages. It used to be able to show the ages on this thing, but it doesn't. They don't show you the ages. These are ages. Age in 100 years. So this is 100 years is 0. So basically, at the center is 50 years old. I don't know why they did it like that. Anyway, so let's run it manually. Okay, so in the year 2050, yeah, because so it looks like you have a lot of young people, and a lot of older people and less of the young. Fine. First of all, people can work till very old age. You don't have to work till 100, but you can. The reason people don't work until 100 is because the law says they have to go into pension or something. You're allowed to fire them when they reach pension age, and you don't have to pay them severance. So you fire them. But people can keep working. No one's stopping. People today are very healthy, and a lot of the work today is just office work and work from home. And people are perfectly healthy until very ripe age. So it's not like in the old days that you had to be really young and strong to work. And even then, you could see old women work in the farm. So anyway, but there is still a good ratio of old to young. It's not like it's some incredible ratio that is unbearable. Anyway, fine. So the young take care of the old. So you could say there's a ratio of maybe two, let's say even 2 to 1. So a young person has to take care of 2 adults. Oh my God, he's going to kill himself. It's so ridiculous. I mean, this is the year 2066. In the year 2066, you don't think we're going to have robots helping more today? What are you, out of your mind? Or machines or something? Like at least a diaper changing machine for the elderly. Anyway, but anyway, we could have a discussion about population. I have a lot to say about it. It's like everything else. It's overhyped. In this case, it's Elon Musk who is out of control, and he needs to stop the nonsense. He says we need to have more children. He's doing his share. He has like 10 children. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Wait a minute. I wasn't sharing the right tab. Oh, Jesus. I hate it when this happens and I don't share the right tab. So I end up talking to myself. Let's see. Media Hit says you need silver for those cameras. And okay, we're done. I'm wasting my time. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't kill yourself. And remember to always look at the bright side of every black hole. Adios and goodbye.